Hello and welcome to episode 548 of the Awesome Comics Podcast, a place where the small press, for the last time in 2025, makes one hell of a big noise. My name is Vince Hunt, and joining me as always is the artist and creator of Vanguard, the epic webcomic coming back next year, which is in a couple of days, but depending on when you, or it could be this year, depending on when you. Look, Dan Butcher's here. All right, Dan?
Hello.
How are you?
Hello. Yeah, not too bad. Pretty good, you know.
Did you hear another voice then, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah.
The third.
Is there somebody else there?
The best.
Yeah. Well, it's you. We're not haunted by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. But
I'm hearing a word.
And the word I'm hearing is Tony Esmond. Hello, Tony. Hello.
Yeah, I do remember that at Thought Bubble when me and you, Dan, and somebody came over to speak to us, and we both went, "I'm thinking of a word," like that until he went away.
Yeah. And if you know the context of that joke, then you know what we mean. But yes, as I said, it's the last show of 2025. What a year! It just seems to have flown by. We're going to be looking at talking about the year that was.
It has.
Yes, it has. And we're going to look back on what's happened this year, and namely the titles that we liked. And to be fair, being honest straight up front, like every year, I forgot half the stuff I read.
I had to look back, thanks to Craig.
Yeah,
I had to look back.
Big, the front
MVP.
Craig from acprecommends.com.
Yeah.
No, he's somebody put on your list. We've got to get him on. We're just chatting about who we're going to have on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Put him on your list.
Yeah.
You're looking quite young today, Vince. You're looking younger.
Yes, it's because I'm
You've
growing
got
I'm
a
growing
bit
my hair
mop
long.
top today, haven't you?
Yes, I'm growing my hair so I can look more like you, Tony. One day.
You've got a bit of a sort of 90s, like, you know, the kind of...
You're in the Stone Roses kind of look to you.
God.
That's good, that's good. Wear a bucket hat.
I don't know how I feel about that because I don't like
Bucket hats are back.
What do you mean bucket hats?
Bucket hats are back.
What's a bucket hat?
You know those sort of the hats that the Happy Mondays wore and Stone Roses and all that little firm.
Like a fishing hat, you mean?
A little bit, yeah, like a trendy LS fishing hat.
Is it trendy?
Kangol.
Is it LS? Is that how you say it? I don't know. LS?
Elise.
Elise. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
At work, I make a noise. Have I told you about the noise I make at work? Have I told you about this? No. Well, we have quite a lot of nerds in our office, and nerds tend to make
That's rich coming from you.
I know. I fully accept that I am partly nerd, but
we're proud of it, aren't we? Yeah.
They tend to make sort of strange noises or cough in strange ways. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah. And everyone's like,
that's quite high. That's high pitched for a nerd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got one of them in our office, tension seeking.
Yeah. So just when it's quiet, I've decided to adopt. There's only like 3 people in our. I've adopted my own little noise. So just when it's quiet in the office, I'll go, yeah.
Wow. That sounds like my old maths teacher.
Yeah. And I'll make eye contact with one of the blokes who knows, and he'll slowly take his headphones off. Ready? Okay. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, we also just got a miniature insight into the way that Dan Butcher thinks. Just that absolutely brutal way of describing them. Attention seekers.
There's someone in my office who like really forces a sneeze, so it's really loud. But
right.
when we've had visitors come in, they sneeze like you or I. But when there's not people around, it's really loud. It's like, oh, come on, that's fucking. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
What's the kudos in that?
Performative. No, who does a performative sneeze?
People do it. I've
Someone
heard
I
about
work
it.
with.
Really?
I've read about it. Yeah.
Why? It's disgusting.
Attention seeking, I guess. I don't know.
I read about it on Down the Tubes.
God. I mean, is there anything worse than people who just want attention all the time?
Comic Scene talked about it.
Thank you for listening to the podcast, everyone. Listen to us talk on a weekly basis about comics.
We're not drunk.
We're not drunk or attention seeking. We just demand that you listen to us on a weekly basis.
We demand it.
If we'd have said we were drinking heavily, they would have listened to us. That explains a lot, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Don't
These questions are unanswered.
Yeah, this is one of the world's greatest mysteries, that this is completely sober. God, can you imagine that?
I started drinking again recently. I got given some Moldovan.
I thought you were going to say mulled wine. I was like, that's not.
I like mulled wine.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Don't you?
You like the spices?
Yeah.
Which one?
I prefer
Scary,
just the normal red wine.
Scary, posh, ginger.
Ginger, come on, baby cakes.
Yeah,
ginger.
Ginger, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sporty's looking all right these days, isn't she?
Yeah. Anyway,
moving on.
What are the booze?
I got gifted a bottle of slow gin, so I'll be getting.
What is
stuck
slow
into
gin?
that
I don't even know what that is.
It's like normal gin. You just take longer to drink it.
Hey, gin and slow berries, basically.
Right.
So it's got quite sweet.
Oh, I've never had that. I might have that.
Right.
What should I drink? What drink should be my cool drink now that I'm drinking again?
Mount Gay rum.
Is that nice? I've never had rum. I've had rum years ago. Rum and Coke, I suppose.
Yeah. Kraken.
On Christmas morning.
Kraken, that's a good one.
What's Kraken?
Kraken rum.
What did you start, Dan?
So on Christmas morning, I started drinking Advocaat. From there, it snowballed.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, God.
Awful jokes.
God. Prepare for
He's
2
a
hours
dreamer,
of
he's
this,
a
by the
schemer.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 hours of this absolute fucking nonsense. But thank you very much for listening, everyone. I mean, it'd be odd if this was your first show, but whoever you are listening to this show, thank you very much for checking out.
Not bad shows to listen to because it kind of fits in a lot of the year, doesn't it? When you think about it.
Yeah. There is a very much. Obviously, we'll be sort of going over some old ground, some titles that we really liked that still, interestingly, that still hold up. One interesting thing about looking back on the year and seeing what you've read, and also, like, you know, with the ACP recommends one for me and Dan. I mean, Tony keeps extensive notebooks and has a mind like a vice, whereas mine is like a sieve. So with that website, it's great to, and it's also quite nice because I look at them and then I remember how much I like them. But it also,
I've got my tops and bottoms as well, which is like keeping a weekly thing. So because my best of, I mean, I try to stick to small press on here, so it's not necessarily stuff I've featured on here is what I'll be talking about in a weird way. If you see what I mean.
Also have a blog post coming up with yours, T.
So I've got like a top. I don't know how many it's going to be. It might be about 14 at the moment because I'm kind of.
Are you going to do that like over a couple of days or?
No, I stick it all out on Tuesday or Wednesday, New Year's Eve or the 30th, probably. By the time I get to write it. I've written most of it now, but then I was writing it the other day, no spoilers, and I thought, fucking hell, I forgot all about Gareth Brooks's book about the angling. Fuck. So it's like another one.
There's so much stuff, and like, you know, where especially how many people have gotten more into making comics over the years. And certainly some people fall away, but there's always someone who's willing to make comics and tell new stories and have new voices and new styles, you know. So it's always great to see that and to discover that and look back on it. It was also interesting to look back on the list, and we stay true to our recommends every week. Every time that we do a recommend, it's recommended. We genuinely, at that point, we read this, we like this, we recommend it.
So enjoyed it, yeah. Looking
back on the year, and sometimes maybe a recommendation was an issue 1 of something, I followed it through with a couple more issues, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it now because the ending fell off. Do you know what I mean? It's that.
Yeah.
It's those sort of. It's looking back on the year is interesting to see stuff like that as well. Did you have that, Dan? Like looking back on some of the old
there's
stuff
where Trav sort of they start off strong and then like a couple of issues in is that they've got that strong start but they don't really know where they're going with it, and it's kind of
It seems to be more about the sequential stuff, isn't it? Rather than like a one and done book. You'll still sort of like think, oh, this is the complete.
I've tried to keep in mind small press, but like stuff like the G.I. Joe Transformers stuff is just fucking hitting. The Punisher stuff is just great.
That's a good point.
It's just really good.
There's one book that turned up, so we were also going to be running through. I think it's about 20 of our listeners, slackers, sent us through their sort of top 3, and there's one book which might surprise you that I don't think you two have read that turns out I think the most, maybe 5 times.
Interesting.
Man, there's fucking loads of books I haven't read.
Yeah,
but it's. I don't know if I've mentioned it. I've mentioned it on the blog. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on here, but it is. We'll get to it. And I'll tell you because it might be one we could all read together because there's a collection of it coming.
Yeah,
brilliant. I might know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we next week we're going to do like a 2005 sort of
2005.
2005. Looking forward.
Retrospective, and then
to 2006.
Yeah. Because we did. I'm not sure if the more informed listeners, the beginning of last year, beginning of this year, whatever fucking time we're in when you listen to this, is we did like what we're looking forward to. Three.
You made a note of it, didn't you?
Yeah. And we made a note of the 3 of ours. One of mine, I look back and think that was fucking pie in the sky talk, but we'll go back over them and maybe make some more kind of wishes for 2026.
Yeah.
Next
Well,
year.
probably on next week's show, which will be the first show of 2026. We're going to be looking forward to the year ahead, basically, and what the possibilities. But this year is all about looking back over my
Blowing away musical episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karaoke episode.
It's the karaoke episode.
Someone just threw up into their hat.
We're doing it in the club style.
Yeah. But don't worry, listeners, that's as musical as we're going to get. Although we are going to get rocking with our choices right now. Look at that for a second. Fucking segue.
Can I just put with a caveat of like, this is very difficult because I'm picking up like three books, and I could pick virtually everything on my fucking list because the reason I recommended it is because it's a good title.
And there's many. Absolutely cheated to fuck on.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to mention three sort of picks that I've focused on, and once I've done those three, I'm just going to add a soupçon, a sprinkling of other titles that I really enjoyed as well. That when I was almost like when I was trying to cut them down to the three I was going to mention, I could have quite easily mentioned the other ones as well. So, but
do you want to do Vince, Tony, Dan? Start off, B.
Oh, why not? Why not? Why not?
Yeah. He's keen to get started, isn't he, the Danster?
Yeah.
He's keen on it. He's rolling and ready.
Yeah. Bloody hell, he doesn't mess about, does he? He's an inspiration to us all.
He does mess about, I'll be honest with
you. He messed about the most during these.
Yeah. I did have dinner with him recently, and we talked. I told somebody that he'd killed someone. That was how he messed about.
Yeah. There is I have just noticed there is a massive teddy bear sat just behind him in a compromised position.
Have you been backdooring that? That teddy bear looks tired. I'll be honest with you.
Worn out. I had to replace the stuffing in it a couple of times. Let me tell you.
Oh my god!
Biohazard.
Looks like a fucking.
Talking and mucking about, we've got
I can't. I'll keep looking at it.
Yeah.
We've done a poll about the best comic book podcast 2025.
Oh well, yeah, I'm lovely to hear what the result.
I've got the results. When I got the results prepped up, it took a little bit of time to sort of work out, tally the votes, etc. But when we've done our titles, we'll come back to that, and I've kind of shocked to the result. But
I want to say thanks to everyone who voted. It's kind of.
Yeah. I think that's always a lovely thing to say. I think that is a lovely thing to say. Yeah.
No, but my first pick for the year, which looking back, it feels like I've been reading it longer. I thought this was last year, but this year was the first year that Lizzie Parsec series by Hugh Newell sort of hit my radar properly, and it feels like I've been reading it for longer because when subsequent issues have come along, I've recommended them.
Yes.
And it's a sci-fi action comedy book about the title character Lizzie Parsec, who's a sort of outlaw, sort of on the run figure. During a beer run, it says for the first issue, during a beer run on an abandoned space station, Lizzie runs afoul of local law enforcement. Fortunately, an unspeakable man-eating horror has other plans for the officers. Will her shipmates forgive her for losing their favourite ship suit? And this was a title.
Well said, by the way.
Yeah, ship suit.
We haven't been drinking, so that's proof.
Ship suit. And things like that were one of the reasons that. I mean, I love the designs of spaceships, and those sort of things. Something that I can't do, especially consistently. Then if you think about it, they're no different to cars or any sort of mechanical structure. A flipping transformer. Do you know what I mean? You've got it, and you've got to keep getting it right.
That's why you draw to your strengths, don't you? If you're good at cars, you do a car-based comic. If you're good at jungles, you do Man in the Jungle comic.
Yeah. And sort of this title, as well as being fun and having a sort of had like a really fun sort of indie energy about it, as well as being very small press, very much a creator just doing what they want in the story. It does feel like it's going somewhere. I'm interested in the characters and where it's going, but it's also, it looks great. There's so many great ship designs. The idea of the ship suit itself was a fantastic. It's almost looks like mech sort of armor, but it's actually like a spaceship, and it just that quite simple premise was one of those, oh, why haven't I thought that before? I love those comics where you just think, that's so simple and obvious. Why haven't I thought about stuff like that? Or why hasn't that been done more? But as well as just being great moments of comedy, like when Lizzie trying to start a ship by head-butting her head into a control panel. Nice sort of comic pacing. Hugh is doing sort of real interesting stuff with the story and the side characters, and there's world building. Like there's a galaxy, there's like a solar system and stuff. It's not like you're just dealing with a city or something like that. And he's clearly thought about the bigger world and the bigger universe, which you see in hints. I like sort of stuff being hinted at or little bits of information, because then I'm discovering it along with the characters. Do you know what I mean? It feels like
when world building's brought in organically. It's really
Because there's one thing that I'm getting more and more just switches me off, is a real lore dump. Loads of exposition boxes about saying, right, this is what it is. This is the universe, And the more text I see at the beginning of these expansive sort of worlds, be they sci-fi or fantasy, the more it sort of puts me off. Do you know what I mean? When you're like,
Yeah, there's a couple of times which I've come across it and I've thought, oh, God, okay, this. I've soldiered on, but there's times when that sort of gets presented in a different, more kind of artistic and interesting way, which is like they've thought about it a bit more and moved it on. Like, okay, this is good.
You got to be interested in the characters, haven't you? And you got to be interested in the story, because if you haven't got that, then it doesn't matter where it's placed. Really, is it?
I guess you got to be careful as well, because if you start telling like some 500-year backstory of like the evil Zargons attacked and did X, Y, Z, it's like, is this all really necessary to get on with issue 1? Can we get going without this? Or I guess I blame Star Wars from that fucking text crawl. Everyone does.
Yeah, but that's one of those things that, like, that happens over a minute and a half, and then
it's
into the movie, aren't you?
Yeah.
It still doesn't talk about, I don't know, international trade systems or whatever they bored us with in it. But Lizzie Parsec, which is a great series. You can find it. It's available on Global Comics. He's made the first issue free to read on his website.
Go back to listen to him on here.
And he was a previous guest, so go back. But that's
episode 528.
Nice.
Wow. Bloody hell!
Very good, Daniel.
Dan's on it, isn't he?
Did a bit of research there.
On something. Yeah. Give me the finger gun.
So if you go to HughNewell.com, that's HUGH Newell NEWELL.com. You'll find his artwork, but also links to Lizzie Parsec in general. And if you like sort of sci-fi, space, I don't want to give the short, crass, if you're a fan of this or this, but if you just like a good sci-fi adventure book, that isn't necessarily all
fun
all
sci-fi.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's looking on my list. That's mostly there's a lot of fun involved. The enjoyment was definitely a factor into my picks. So yeah, Lizzie Parsec. The series was my
one down.
Pick. Tony,
should we do just 2 quick slackers? I'll put a call out to the slackers as well. Yeah. So what's your top 3? So our buddy Alan Liska, Green Archer Comics, Black Canary, Best of the Best, which is a miniseries in DC. Question All Along the Watchtower, which I'm not sure if it was a miniseries, so it kind of ended up as one from DC. I know Alan was pissed off when that ended. And Whatever Happened to the Crimson Justice, which we talked about on here a couple of times.
Yes, we did.
From Mad Cave, I'm going to say.
Yeah, that was Mad Cave, yeah.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, really fun. And a quickie, Kieran Squires, who I was chatting to Kieran earlier on the Zoom. Transformers, Radiant Black, and Stuff by Slackers. Thanks, Kieran. There you go, it's 2.
Radiant Black, nice.
My first one is a massive cheat. So I've kind of named just a company. So I genuinely think this company is top of the monthly comic style craft currently in the world. I had a long chat to Peter Tomasi about why they're not getting enough attention. And I think they should be. They're not named in any of the awards yet. You've got some of the best storytelling going on in comics to genuinely think that. So it's Ghost Machine. I've picked the top 3 from Ghost Machine: Red Coat, Jeff Johns, Brian Hitch, Brad Anderson, Simon Pure, the Immortal, who's born in 1776. Just beautiful story. Just best Brian Hitch I've seen.
I don't know what the fucking problem is. Why are
Me
these
neither,
books not
mate.
being talked about? I just don't understand.
I actually was going to go to the awards at Baltimore this year, and I didn't because it was just a load of old bollocks. The usual bollocks.
Sorry, just the way you said it.
Like
Well,
mates
unfortunately,
of
yeah,
mates, usual bollocks. Yeah,
it seems that most award things now just seem to have been compromised to the point where it's not about the
massively.
quality of what it is about.
Yeah.
Massively. It's either that or it's got some kind of weird small voting pot of people or
Yeah.
it's just anyway. But Redcoat, absolute career best by at the moment, I think, by Hitch, and Hitch is an artist we've always liked.
Fuck me, yeah.
Geiger, Jeff Johns, mostly Gary Frank with a few guest artists, and Brad Anderson again on colours. Their longest runner. I think we've all read Geiger at some point or other, haven't we?
Yeah.
Just and so fast forward 10 seconds, Simon Pure ends up in the newest issue. So he's in the future as well. Just great storytelling. And the final one, which is probably my favourite, even though it's only had, 8 or 9 issues now, Rook Exodus, Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, Brad Anderson, which kind of sits on its own out there. Some of the other ones are linked, sits on its own out there.
My God, they're all fantastically made. The craft and the care that's in the Ghost Machine universe, just across it. Even if you like some more than others, that's what comics are all about. But Rook, in terms of what it looks like,
it's Bond Dessinate art, man.
Fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Really,
Is it
good.
Faye Bock? Is that how you say his name?
I'm not sure how you say it. Jason Fabok,
my
Fabok, I don't know.
God, what a fucking revelation that
incredible,
that
man.
artist is.
It's like the best Bond Dessinate sci-fi story, but told with the beats of an American comic style for me. That beginning and end of it.
And also because it has like the animal sort of flavours to it as well.
Yeah.
You haven't read the spiders yet, have you? You haven't got to the spiders, have you?
But bringing those bits...
It's like going into the alien mothership.
Yeah.
Really
That fucking
awesome.
tense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, brilliant.
Man, that's one of those comics you give to someone who kind of doesn't read the comics passively, and it's where you go, man, here you go.
Yeah, you don't have to read anything else.
No.
It's a little slow in the release, but you can see why. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
There's Hyde Street's another one. Rocket Fellas is another one. There's the Sisterhood. There's so much going on there.
I think there's something to be said about like indie comics fans as well and small press comic fans. We will wait for quality. You've got us. If you've got us with a good story, just don't take the piss with your Kickstarters. But if you with a series like this, it's like if they want to take fucking months until the next arc. Fine.
Mate, you're going to put 6 issues out a year of this quality. I've got no problem at all with that.
Yeah.
We're used to it with Hellboy and Resident Alien and stuff like that now, so I've got no problem with it. But it's genuinely, for me, great, pulpy, mostly sci-fi storytelling that is done by people who fucking know the craft.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns, like someone like Mark Waid, they can tell it. They know how to tell a comic story.
Yeah.
Like bang, 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 and then you're left wanting more. In an issue, and I just really admire these guys. And I've got all their books on pull, and I'll fully admit to buying multiple issue covers of Rook because I just like having like various card covers, and But just so that's my first one. Ghost Machine, fucking outstanding.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah,
mate. Yeah, agree with both of these. My one's going to be Godhawk. We had Sean Matalano on episode 5 and 2. Just an absolute fucking tour de force from a small press comic.
Yeah.
It's just so well done. It's the level of the quality of the writing, storytelling, artwork is just something else. It's amazing. And when we spoke to him and the amount of sort of planning, and we didn't challenge him, but like when you ask a question about something about the world and he knows the answer, he's already all planned out. And you see that in the comic. I mean, when we was talking about world building there, Vince, he does a little bit at the beginning, but it's not really fucking extensive. You're just kind of thrown into this situation.
I think also, to sort of back at that point, with a fantasy sort of style book as well, you have to put a little bit of legwork in to begin with. Because I think sometimes with some sci-fi, you're in space, the audience. You put someone in space, the audience kind of got an idea of what it's going to be. In some sense, it's quicker to get them dialed in. But with fantasy, especially over the past few years with D&D and Lord of the Rings and everything, it could be like in Legend of Zelda, just all of these influences about the fantasy genre have mixed it up so much that you have to, to begin with, let the reader know this is the sort of fantasy we're getting.
Yeah,
and Game of Thrones, throw those sort of things in. You got this is what we're getting, and this one does it really well. Yeah, it does it really well.
Yeah, I mean, go listen back to the episode. You can go and check out some of these books. I think there's some of it uploaded online. I'm genuinely staggered by following Sean, like how much art he puts out on the regular. It's fucking insane. I just like, oh my God.
That's a top tier image book, man. To me,
I don't know why it's not been picked up or scooped up by someone, because I'm not sure if he's
maybe
doing that on the side.
Maybe don't want it.
If you're happy with doing it like that, fucking go for it. I can't.
That is it can be a double-edged sword of like going from the indie to like a publisher, not necessarily, we're not talking big time, but just a publisher, deadlines and all of that. If it takes any of the joy out of your own creation,
it can do, man. I think so. I've worked for a publisher, and I think it can do.
Yeah.
I think it genuinely can.
Yeah. Got to say, after doing this for years, I wouldn't want to work in comics full time.
No,
I just don't want to do it. It's
there's some good folks out there, and there's some nefarious folks out there. I think we've sort of learned that really over the years.
Yeah.
I certainly saw it when I worked for Nobrow, all of whom are lovely people now, but there was a few dodgy people back then.
Yeah. It's just like those shits fucking get everywhere, don't they? Those kind of people. You just think, oh, this is really good. Everyone's good to each other. It's like they're not. It's
yeah. Nobody's in it. There's not enough people in it just for comics, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. It's usually we can tell when someone comes along and it's like, I'm going to make a buck here. And it's like,
we see them coming out.
That's just us.
Like we'd make a buck. Fuck that.
Yeah. But, taking a bit of a side note there, but Godhawk. Do go check it out.
Any more from
I'll do a couple more, So Cliff Cumber, who's funny enough, has just texted me. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, and that's a favourite of yours, V.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Predator, which is a bit of a bootleg that's going on. Zach Cahill has got it on the go with a few guys.
Fucking wonderful that is. Normally I don't care about Predator crossovers, but I'm interested in that one.
Looking good. We Ride at Night plus Drone. Listen for more of that in a minute. Chest Face by Dean Haspiel. I know he's buddies with Cliff now. And
I don't know anything about that.
It's good. Dean Haspiel's a good guy. And Mark Abnett, Sorted Crisis Events. That's appearing in a lot of best ofs. I should really read that. Transformers. Now Mark adds pre-Kirkman to that. Is there some kind of thing where Kirkman's people are turning on Kirkman a bit around his work on I don't know.
I don't know. I think it might just be the IDW stuff.
The IDW stuff.
No, I think maybe.
Maybe he doesn't know Kirkman stuff.
Well, Kirkman's come on as a writer.
Oh, he might mean the Daniel Warren Johnson's.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, maybe just the DWJ stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And a book, which is a bit of a niche one, that he says it reminds me a bit of Ultimate Spider-Man, is Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman. Oh, okay, not read that one.
I've not read that one.
There's another couple for you.
Nice. Wow, we're ploughing through these, aren't we?
Yeah. Over to you, V.
My second one was a Kickstarter. I wondered if this was going to be on Dan's list, because I know Dan also recommended it later in the year. This is a book by Argo Powell, Jason McNamara. Alberto Massagia is the artist. Sonia Harris is the designer. This was Phantom Limbs, The Thief.
Yes.
This fucking great book. This is synopsis is: a successful surgeon discovers his medical skills have been stolen by a very unique thief. It's a standalone comic book thriller. It was a Kickstarter. I'll follow Jason into hell. Usually with his Kickstarters, and he knows what he's doing. I mean, this was interesting as well. God bless him. He was nervous about. He hadn't done a Kickstarter in a while. He was nervous about putting this book out. It's a landscape style book, with a duotone sort of art style, which just mentioned that I'm in anyway. And it's a Twilight Zone-y like concept that hints at more to come, because obviously this is Phantom Limbs, the thief. And to say more would be to spoil it, but the enjoyment I had just going through it from front to back, the crafting of the characters, the concept itself, which is strange enough to hook you. Yeah, it's simple, but it's weird. It's unexplained. But it is the pebble in the pond, and the rest of the book is the ripples that's just going out, and it has a sting in its tail, a wonderful sting in its tail. When I ended, it's like a classic short story, like every great sort of prose short story. You have the setup, you get invested, and when you get the sting in the tail and the gut punch at the end, it's satisfying. I was just over this Christmas, I was watching some adaptions, but also looking into more of M.R. James ghost stories. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
The absolute classic. But it's always there's the setup that they always have this sort of path, and it always ends with a kind of the comeuppance. You get the same with and it's no different to A Tale from the Crypt. Do you know what I mean? Those sort of the pacing of it. But these ones, there was I want to say Twilight Zone, because I think that'd be a something that a lot of people can understand. There's a Tales from the Unexpected vibe about it. It was unexpected completely. Not to mention that the book just looks gorgeous. The design
the whole
work,
duotone factors into the kind of the element. It's hard to describe without going too much into spoilers, but essentially when the antagonist preys on whoever, that color, a color is used to kind of illustrate what's happening, the process happening. Yeah. And when you see it, it's like, oh man, that's really fucking well done. There's
a little effect as well when this thief is about, and it's ink wise, it's just a few lines here and there, but when you see it on the page, it's like they're glitching slightly.
Yeah.
And you just think, what the fuck was that? Is that what is going on? And
the moral quandary that it puts the main character in is if you was put in a similar situation, you'd be fucking hell. What would I get? Lengths would I go to get back what was?
But it's all about that, though, isn't it? It's like that's the story. If all you are is one thing that you do, and your ego is all based around that, what are you if that's stripped away? Do you know what I mean? So, and you take an egocentric, conceited character with a sort of miniature god complex in a way, because they're a surgeon. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain it sort of plays on that, and you take that away, what happens to that figure? And it was just brilliant. It was pulp. It was noir. It was creepy. It was interesting. Phantom Limbs was just an absolute highlight.
Top banana.
Just absolute top. Yeah. So I know when Dan mentioned it once again, it was like, oh god, I got to sort of, it's a book that I've read a couple of times. I've also gone through and looked at it as well. So looking forward to seeing what the next one will be. If whenever we will see that. But that's mine. Phantom Limbs. Tonio, do we have any more from the listeners?
Yeah. So Dave Cranner, he cheated. Actually, he did it twice. So good he did it twice. So from his blog, he'd said Absolute Batman, Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, and a Sin City comic he'd read. And then he says, but new, and this is a bit like me actually, I've written this list of comics, so I'm in the process of writing a list of comics for the website, and it'll change 5 minutes after I press send on it. It's one of those sort of things.
Yeah.
So he has said Absolute Martian Manhunter, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Jason Aaron run, and Hyde Street, so another shout for something from Ghost Machine. And Jonathan Sapsed has said Tokyo these days, Taiyo Matsumoto, which is a book I think I recommended a while ago as well. Proteus Vex is a 2000 AD story, and Mugshots, which is another favourite of ours.
Yes,
very good. Yeah, nice work, Jordan. Good. Shall I go to my next one?
Yeah.
So mine is again a publisher. I fucking cheated at this, I'll tell you now. One that has made me and us laugh throughout the year. We've had a couple of them on as guests. Hopefully can have another one on soon. They are finally, we've got a UK-based group of underground artists and writers, not weighed down by whatever is the bullshit that is currently going on in comics. True underground voices, and it's Black Ink Comics. They're just rough and ready, But let's name them. So Leslie Wenlock, Dylan Henty, Dan Hughes, and Paul Courtjohn, the main 4 players in it. And I couldn't say who I like at best at them. They're all great. They've all got a fucking ridiculous sense of humour. I've laughed out loud constantly. Black and white, DIY, funny as fuck, proper small press, proper under. They're part of this new sort of UK underground that's growing. It reminds me that nothing in the small press has to be the same. It doesn't have to be a soft core application to get a book published by Nobrow or Avery Hill or something. You know, there's other avenues you can go in it, and in a similar sort of, I suppose, in a similar vein as me and Falpy and Cliff and Daryl are doing at Tribute. They're doing it in their own way as well, and I've just loved it. There's some great comics come out of them. Junked is kind of the big anthology. If you're going to order anything by them, go and order Junked. It's funny as fuck. But you've got Zine Tales, you've got Swimsuit Comics, that made me laugh, just the name, Fang Beast, Face Ache, you've got Squareface Diaries, which is now at Maladaptive Press, which is kind of a little spin-off that a couple of them have taken on board. But yeah, have a go to their website, look them up, have a surf about and just buy a couple of things. They're very cheap. They're not like super expensive. And all they do is we just have a chat, and they'll send me normally they send me like a digital download of it, and I end up fucking buying it because it makes me laugh so much. Yeah, good stuff. Black Ink Comics. We've had I think I'm going to say 3 or 4 of them on.
I think so. Yeah,
over the period of stuff, and we like them a lot. And they're just guys, people making comics that are good, and without a fuck given, which I'm proud of them for.
Yeah, man. Like that's one of the strengths of doing a small press comic, right? You just do whatever you want,
mate. You put it on the head. It's the absolute strength. Is it from our hand to a post box? That's all it is. We don't have to go through fucking anyone. We can do what we like.
There's no sort of
we can send out whatever we like.
Keep you in check.
We don't have to put it through a sensitivity reader. You know. I was reading a bit in Hanif. Oh yeah, I was reading a bit in Hanif. Correct. Sorry, what did you say?
I said many of them won't pass if we did.
Yeah, all of ours won't. But I was reading something by Hanif Qureshi in he did this book, which is sort of diary of his illness, and he got told he had to go through a sensitivity, and he's like, "What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
what is this? It's stifling originality, and their stuff is original. I got to tell you, it goes off on one, and I love it. So, Black Ink Comics, go and look them up. They're comics with an X.
Nice. Nice.
My second one. Should we have another couple?
Yeah,
sure.
So Pete Watson, 70 Sandman says 70 Sandman is the Kirby Sandman, if anyone knows, not the man whose name we can't be fucking bothered to speak about.
Yeah.
Secret Society of Supervillains. If you listen along to the Earth 2 podcast, who are buddies of ours, we've all appeared on it, and we very much enjoy it. And I listen to it on a weekly basis, and I'm always sending them messages about it, about what they're saying. And that's really good. And Peacemaker Tries Hard, which is a more recent one that Pete's mentioned.
I love that. Yeah.
Our editor, Simon Russell, Rare Flowers. He's done new, old, and small press. So he's done Rare Flowers, which is the Ram V Felipe Andreo, which was the hotness at the start of the year. Do you remember? Like really hot, sort of really strangely artistic, kind of, but interestingly different comic. The Demon by Kirby. As an old one, I'll make him right. I love the Demon. Funny enough, it was just the other day I posted because the Demon turns up in one of those TKO or KO DC comics. And this is out by Oliver Reese. So Oliver Reese is the small press guy who I'm going to say about 10, 12 years ago did Trains Are Mint, which I tabled with him at Bristol around about that time. Really interesting. He did the trains. I haven't read This Is Out. I should really get a copy of it. Trains I'm in is he walked the line of a train sort of thing and did a small press comic about it. Nice stuff. Yeah, there's 2. Cool.
Nice.
Who's next? That's you, Dan.
Yeah.
Moen, this is the big boy title. I tried to keep it mostly small press, but I couldn't really not do this, and you're probably all going to agree with it. Battle Beast.
Yeah. It almost made my list.
It's fucking great. I've only got the first issue, and then I've got it in trades, and it's just an absolute fucking joy to read. It's just the kind of comic I feel like it was made for people like me. It's just
yeah.
a lot of
If
fun.
I had to go to a comic shop and pick up a comic off the new shelf for you, that would be that. Easily.
Yeah, Battle Beast. Oh,
Yeah.
love it. It's just
That was something by Zach Cahill. That'd be the two things.
yes. It's obviously I really like Kirkman's stuff. I fucking love Ryan Otley's artwork, and that was just like the fucking apex of it. It was really, really fun read, really enjoyable. A great character that many writers would have not got correct in the way his character arcs and changes. You know, you think it'd be
It'd be switched. It'd be a nice bloke by issue 1.5.
It's also tone of voice is such a massive thing. You know, I experienced it. I mean, I'm not going to check the book, but like characters that I was invested in, and they appeared in another book, and I read it, and it just felt tonally off, and I was like, "This isn't." You know,
mate, they just couldn't get that Millie the Model voice right, could they?
No. It's just I love it too much. Do you know what I mean? And that's part of my problem. I'm too invested.
When she has a day out at Bumley's to meet Archie.
Yeah,
I need to get it right.
You need to get it right. You know, a girl's got to live. But you're absolutely right. Like on paper, that character could be described in one or two sentences, couldn't they, Dan? But to make a book, I mean, there's more. There's so much more, isn't there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it played with that whole thing of the Mandalorian Grogu thing that was really popular. Of like, here's the badass, and then he's got like a cute sidekick, and that sets it up. But then it completely fucking subverts that by he's threatening to eat him virtually all the time.
Yeah,
which was just a rip off of Lone Wolf and Cub anyway.
Yeah, which is a rip off of Lone Wolf and Cub.
But then they to subvert it again. Yeah.
Because it's sort of it knows its influences. You know, because there is sort of like it's so bombastic space operatic sort of. There's almost Flash Gordon-y sort of elements to like how over the top and big this is. Do you know what I mean? There's, but to keep that through line very pure of no, I'm a bastard. I'm a bastard, and I'm going to keep being a bastard. Like we say, we get so tired of things being watered down that sometimes people can just be who they are.
Yeah,
and they can stay like that. Yes, you can have character growth in a certain kind of way, but you can still stay true to what it is, isn't it? And I think that's what we like.
I think that's always character growth is like they always grow to being better. Yeah. But you don't necessarily have to tell that story of them changing to be better.
People don't do
that. No, it's very rare.
People grow to be greedy. People grow to be worse.
That's a very fictionalized kind of like, you get growth to be a better character.
Yeah.
And you can obviously there's so much more to come in this story. I'm so invested in when it returns. I think it's March, isn't it? It's coming back. Is it March?
No, is it?
Yeah. Because Otley's taking some time to fucking work on these pages that just get fucking crazy. But
when that beast opens its fucking eyes and mouth at the beginning of first issue 1 smiles. And the whole thing about eating people, everyone eating each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're kind of monsters, animals. We eat food. You need it, so you eat them.
Yeah. But the thing is, in a story like this, the main character can be that very much just a solid bastard. It speaks to the strength of the supporting characters if you don't want them to die. I think that's what he's playing with, because the main character, all the way through says, well, I'm going to kill you. Doesn't matter. I'm going to kill you. Every issue, he's essentially telling the supporting cast, well, one day I'm just going to fucking kill you. Yeah. But because you get to know that supporting cast, you want it not to be the case. So you kind of want Battle Beast to be like...
That's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
That's a possibility.
And it's almost like the perfect world is, he's like, I'm going to kill everyone else. All right, I'll spare you because you're handy. Yeah. But goes on killing everyone else. Do you know what I mean? That's almost like, that's the perfect world for this, rather than him being, I'm going to right all the wrongs. That's never going to happen in this series. And that's, it's just... And also, if you just like comics for the art, just fucking read it. Jesus Christ.
And the gore.
It goes back to one of the phrases I had this year. If my character has to go for any more development, it's going to develop into a villain.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, this was on my short list, and like I think
I figured like one of you guys might mention it, and I thought, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely on my long list.
Yeah, it was a deserved blockbuster within the sort of publishing scene, isn't it? Really. So brilliant stuff. We got any more from the listeners, Tony?
Matt Schofield says Absolute Wonder Woman, very popular. Sleep, which I haven't read, and Batman and Robin Year One, extremely popular comic. That's probably the one out if we had to. We put them in like a league table.
Yeah.
Mark Waid, Chris Samney, fucking spot on. Sam Hardacre, Mugshots, Black Sad, and Akira, all solid choices there. Sam.
Yeah. Again, to anyone who hasn't listened before, this doesn't have to be new out. It can be you've discovered it for the first time this year.
Well, that's what I said to them. Look, if you've read it for the first time, not if you're returning to read it. I'm saying if you've read it for the first time this year. Yeah. I've tried to keep to mine to this year, but it's not a rule. It's just a rule I apply to myself.
Yeah. And also, if you like, for instance, if I read Akira for the first time this year, which I did a couple of years ago, properly, this is the year that I discovered and loved Akira. Do you know what I mean? I'm in no position to say it's one of the books of 2024 if I've never read it, but if I've read it this year, then I'm absolutely right.
Oh, big shout out to Matt Strott. He gifted me Way of the Rat, the 24 issues of that, which is cross-gen. Did you ever read it?
Okay, now
cross-gen. Rings a bell. Rings a bell, that.
When I was in Baltimore, he gave me the 24. Fucking Chuck Dixon and a couple of different people on art, but fucking hell, that's a good comic.
Yeah, Matt's a big fan of Chuck Dixon.
Yeah. And I think I am.
Yeah.
Solid writer, like Mark Waid. Solid writer for me.
Yeah.
Good.
So my final of the highlights of this year. There's only been a couple of issues so far, but it was just like a Sunny D Red Bull straight into my veins. That I just thoroughly enjoyed. Another beautiful book to look at. This is Robo Wolf from Jake Smith. It's out from Dark Horse Comics. I cannot wait for the next issue. He does say, like on Instagram, sorry if it's taking a while. Once again, if I can do whatever, mate, it's fine with me because these books are just fucking brilliant. It's as it says on Dark Horse's website, it's an over-the-top ode to classic retro beat-em-up video games, 90s comic books, and 80s action films. So essentially, my DNA. So do you know what I mean? I can hear the music, even though it's not there. I can hear the music there that's playing when I read it. The color palette, Jake does it all himself. It's glorious. It is about literally Cyborg Wolf and his crew of bank robbing criminals, but they're in a race against time to get a fat stack of stolen money to the villainous Colonel Massacre, who kidnapped Robo Wolf's daughter for ransom. As it says here, the Colonel's not the only one with an eye on the money, however, and our heroes will have to use their combined skills to tear through an onslaught of bloodthirsty cannibals, ninjas, robots, and more. And what more do you want? That's everything that a growing boy needs, I think. Designs in this book are wonderful, straight out. I can see action figures for every single character in this book. The colour palette is a glorious California style. We're talking surf meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. We're talking video games. We're talking everything. This should have had a game on the Mega Drive, and that was in the fucking 80s, late 80s. Do you know what I mean? There should have been games like this. It's funny. It's over the top. Because it is someone who was brought up on these, kids' cartoons, kids' video games, and is now making a comic book now, therefore they're an adult making it. So there's swearing and there's gore and there's all kinds of things. So there's dismemberment, there is over-the-top violence, there is hilarious sort of dialogue that doesn't really work in terms of... Colonel Massacre has the jawline of a fucking chopping board. He's very much an Arnold Schwarzenegger type character, and he even talks in an over-the-top cartoonish version of that, almost like a voice out of The Tick. Do you remember the animated show The Tick?
Yes.
When some of those voices were hot over the top, weren't they? It's wonderful. It's wonderful, this book. I mean, it'll probably only go for like 4 to 6 issues. I'm not even sure how many issues. Oh, it's 4-issue series actually. It's only going to be 4, but I know Jake Smith. It was another one of those. A creator lands on my radar, and I am a fan immediately. So looking forward to the final 2 issues, because it's great. I mean, it's done through Dark Horse, but there's such an energy in it that rings true with the small press. This is my book. I'm doing whatever I want in it, It's just that whatever I want happens to be absolutely mental and fueled by carbonated soft drinks and sugary sweets.
Pop rocks.
Yeah, pop rocks and violence, good old fashioned violence. So Robo Wolf, you're in for a treat if you look at it. It's a brilliant book. I can stare at panels of it for ages. I think Jake also he's had some original pages that he sold from it as well. So that's cool to see.
What the price on them, do you know?
Oh, don't know yet, but it's surely getting up there. I mean, he doesn't skimp on the detail, should we say?
Yeah. I wonder if it's an investment, those pages.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's one of those things that someone takes a lot. You know, they put a lot in, but it can take a little bit of time. I'd be interested to see. I think Jake's done some Godzilla stuff in the past.
Oh, okay.
He's done some Godzilla. He's got some prints or pin-ups or something like that, or covers.
Okay.
But I think he's done an issue or two of the Godzilla. There's been so many Godzilla books, haven't there? Do you know what I mean? So many credits.
In the last 2 years, it's been fucking literally hundreds.
Yeah. And let's be honest, Edison Neo should be doing one. Come on, sort it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Robo Wolf, love it. Give me more. That's what so I just wanted to give that a nod. Do we have any more from the...
Yeah, we do. So Gareth
Laurels?
Brooks.
Yeah.
My Gorilla Family. Fucking, we read that, didn't we? That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Does
someone have sex with a tree in that one? I think they do. Yeah. That's a good one.
Maybe that was so fucking... Yeah, it was. That was the beginning. One of the beginning stories.
The art in that. I love the art in that, man.
Yeah.
So good. Nemesis the Warlock, Definitive Edition 3, which is amazing. Brilliant. And Looking for Bruce, which I haven't read. Looking for Bruce by Holly Cassio. And they're from Gareth. Ian Matthews, Ninja Turtles 6 to 12. He's been specific with issue numbers. Good man. Usagi Yojimbo 283 to 284. That almost made my list. And very kind American Nature 3, which I am in. And big shout to Mark for being the best editor in the world on that one. Yeah. But there you go. There's another couple.
I've kind of avoided like talking about the titles we've made, but like obviously fucking Tribute Press is this fucking...
Well, thank you, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, smashed it. Every year.
Yeah.
Very kind of you. Was it we got in the new year? We had our Christmas do the other day, which is me and him sitting in a curry house.
Lovely. That sounds like a lovely Christmas do, if you ask me.
It's all right, actually. Yeah. It's a little less wild than my work one.
Yeah.
But,
What's your final one then, Tony?
My final one is the output of a single creator in 2025, which sounds like a bit of a cheat, but it's actually only 2 books I'm talking about. So, Jesse Lonergan, Drome, which is hitting so many best-of lists. It's great to see. Both of these were gifted to me by Cliff. There you go.
Nice. How do you spell Jesse's name?
Loner, G-A-N.
Nice.
Lonergan. Drome is it's a beautiful hardback fat comic done with almost an eye to Metal Hurlant, but with he uses a sort of intersectional grid style in it, where a single image is intersected by grids as if it was a number of comic panels. But sometimes it's a single panel, sometimes it's a series of panels. It's a sci-fi. The easy shortcut would be Mobius, but I think it's got a bit more of a sense of humour in a different way than Mobius perhaps did, across an alien landscape featuring a number of different characters. There's meaning in it as well. You can read into it. There's a lot of violence, a lovely amount of design, and I think it's about 300 pages. It's an incredible accomplishment. So you've got that, which is a very carefully made comic. It's just you weirdos, you graphic designers. Everything is perfection, isn't it? You're the tidiest people I know in life. On the computer page, on a drawn page, or in your life, and seemingly it's like that. He's brought that aesthetic into it. It's just so well crafted. But then you get as well, almost as an opposite, you get a bootleg Batman comic called We Ride at Night, which is just
that's unreal.
Yeah, that was fucking amazing. That was really good.
Unreal. That was the one that
without wishing to be clear, both of them just like fucking propel themselves.
Yeah.
Constant page turn. Yeah. Both very little dialogue, although there is dialogue, it's very little. And We Ride at Night, it's just this sort of inky brilliantness for me. This just put a cassette tape in the car and like play a song and drive through a city and things happen, and it's all done to the music. And in it, he shows the pens and the inks that he used to make it with. And you go from having this almost like a coffee table gosh book, like an Observer reader's coffee table book with Drome, which is, has a little bit of a punk thing going on in it, but is very carefully done. To having this sort of inky, just fucking throwing the ink hardcore, knowing what he's doing, throwing the ink at the page. It's been his year. I genuinely think it's been his year.
Nice.
Drome is sold out. I remember he sold out almost immediately at SPX, from what I hear. Just, love it. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so my third one is the 2025 output of Jesse Lonigan.
Nice.
Again.
Nice.
We've had quite a run of taking shots at the Observer.
Yeah,
Get the bingo card out. It's usually Punisher, maybe Observer now, taking a shot.
Yeah. Well, you know as well as I do. We looked at it a few weeks ago, didn't we? Their list of. Do you remember their list of?
Fuck me, yeah.
And it was just like, what is this crap?
It's like a parody. It's just.
It has become that, isn't it?
It's
People who
become a
are
parody.
genuinely working on craft and knowing how a comic works and stuff are being left
Getting
in
ducked.
the dirt and discouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Really
Not always,
ridiculous.
but
Yeah.
No,
certainly
not
this year.
Before Dan signs us off with our picks, have we got any others from the
Oh yeah, let me
masses?
grab a couple. We've got a few more left actually. Nick Bryan, Power Fantasy. That's getting a few names stuck in best of lists. Absolute Wonder Woman again. Orla and 8 Billion Genies. Joe King, Absolute Wonder Woman and Batman and Robin Year One again. There you go.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Black Canary, Best of the Best. Daredevil, Born Again, and Johnny Cannon Substack. Good old Johnny. That's a great Substack.
Yeah,
I was just
great
chatting to him on the
Substack,
phone
yeah.
about 2 hours ago. Yeah, really good. Michael Seller, Sacrifices. I bought that as a trade for a buddy the other day. The first trade of that.
Nice.
It's really good stuff. Sorted Crisis Events, also getting a lot of names. And Batman and Robin Year One. Alan Henderson, Batman and Robin Year One. Ginseng Roots by Craig Thompson, which I haven't read all of. I read the first 2 issues. I haven't read the collection, but that's a lovely book. And the ongoing Poison Ivy series at DC, which if Alan rates it, then I will pick it up. So
Okay.
I hadn't heard about that one. Zach Cahill, Invincible, Lone Wolf and Cub, and Slash Maraud. There you go. That's the three. There's 3 comics for you.
Nice.
There you go. That's thanks to everyone who wrote in.
Dan, what is your...
I struggle with the third one because there were so many to fucking pick from. Just before Christmas, Ian Ashcroft sent through the PDF for Hellbreaker, didn't he?
This didn't make my list because I wrote the list before it, but this is in my worthy mentions. Yeah,
I haven't read the digital yet because I'm waiting for the physical. It's
Right.
one of those things. I want to see the physical
yeah.
before I pick up the digital. But I was gifted a copy of Shah earlier in the year by yourself.
Oh, of
T.
course. Yeah.
Fuck it. I've never read it before. I fucking loved it. It was like going back to like my youth and reading a story in like 2000 AD or Toxic. It was just a fucking pure hit of like Pat Mills' fucking storytelling and craziness. If you're not familiar with it, I'm not sure when this originally came out, but he kickstarted
I'm
it.
not sure either.
Uh,
The Kickstarter
while
was this year, wasn't it? The collection.
yes.
Lovely collection
so-
as well.
Pat Mills and Oliver LeDroit, who does obviously Requiem, Vampire Night. It was originally published in France, and it had a short run in heavy metal. But oh god, it was such a fucking great story, and
You loved that,
art
didn't you?
wise,
Yeah.
I really was on board. It's thematically there's similar elements to what I'm hoping I might find in Hellbreaker, with kind of like someone punching up a kind of a corrupt higher class.
Yeah,
And
there is. Yeah.
What Pat does well. It's such a great book. I really highly recommend you go check it out. Art wise, again, it's like fucking hell. Does Oliver never sleep on putting this kind of artwork out? It's so good.
Yeah, he's beloved in France as well, isn't he? And rightly so, I think. Yeah.
Totally understandable. Yeah,
Hellbreaker's great, man. Hellbreaker, I read it a couple of days ago. Absolutely brilliant. The dialogue is hilarious. So because I'm for those who don't know, I'm behind the scenes a bit on the Kickstarter, just sort of helping out, and the dialogue pumps it up again, even from Ian's artwork. It pumps it up again, and there's some really funny lines in it. It's just beautiful. What you if you're a backer of it, what you will have got is the coloured in version of the Space Warp story, the interview done by George MacDonald with one of the characters from Spacewalk, but you also get the news story in there as well.
Okay.
What you don't get on the digital version is you don't get the extra material. So there's the short story by George MacDonald and Ian. There's I think there's a short prose story from George MacDonald, and there's a load of other stuff as well coming through. So I think they just wanted to get everyone to have a read of it for Christmas.
Fair enough.
So they stuck it out
That's
in digital.
all in the.
but
the deluxe version. I've got
Deluxe,
that
yeah,
winging its
yeah.
way. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, man. It
Hide
looks
that from the missus.
that yeah, that sort of Shah level design as well.
Brilliant.
Really nice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking apex of like putting out a lovely book. It's
Yeah, it really is.
There's nothing I look at and thought you could have done that better because it's all fucking boxes ticked.
Ken
Great stuff.
Reynolds and Lisa Mills, that's down to them, that is. And Ian done a lot of work on it as well. Yeah, really beautiful stuff.
Have we all got some like? That's
we got
our sort of
yeah,
thing.
we got some
got our
honourable
sort of
mentions
honourable
that we're just going to rattle through. Tony, before we do, Tony, do you want to hit us with a few more?
No, we've done
all
our write-ins. Yeah,
Lovely.
I'm not going to do all my worthy mentions. I'm just going to do one, just because I'm going to write about the other ones this week. So watch out for that.
Okay.
But if you two want to do yours,
Dan, have you got your list, Dan, or do you want me to kick off while you're digging that?
Yeah.
Okay. The honourable mentions. These are ones that came close to being spoken about, but obviously time. We're cut for time. There's not going to be a director's cut version of this podcast where we talk about them. But Side Questers by Dire Wolf, which I found on Global Comics that I'm thoroughly enjoying, about like an honourable soldier and a 9-foot lizard man teaming up and just going on this crazy sort of quest. It's all about the friends you make along the way and the amazing amount of violence you put out. The Jump, Wes Griffith. Thoroughly enjoyed reading that. I read other books of his, but this was the year I got onto The Jump. The Shadow Planet, which is an Image graphic novel. I read it on Global, but Giovanni Barbieri and Gianluca Pagliarani. It's a wonderful sort of pulpy, eldritch style horror, a mashup of almost like a Forbidden Planet and a Mountains of Madness kind of story. That was a one and done. Came out of nowhere. I was kind of just really pleased about how much I enjoyed that, and that's pretty twisted. Wolf and Batsy, constantly on my read pile. Could have been quite one of the books that I talked about here. That's by Brian Boff or Bow. Apologies, Brian, but Wolf and Batsy is always a great time. EC Comics style black and white books about a werewolf and a vampiress and their daily adventures. Spoilers, they're bastards in the best kind of way. Battle Beast, obviously we've already mentioned that. Out of Alcatraz by Oni Press, Christopher Cantwell and Tyler Crook. Tyler Crook, who just shot further up one of my favourite artists list this year with a couple of books that I talked about in previous shows. Out of Alcatraz was a very historically minded telling of what happened to the people the prisoners that escaped Alcatraz all those years ago. And you can run from justice, but you can never escape fate, as they say in the synopsis. That's a really good book, actually. I think that'd be a good collection. So if you see Out of Alcatraz and you like that sort of pulpy and beautiful artwork as well from Crooks.
that made it onto the off-panel podcast this week. They were talking about it. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a beautiful book. Like the sort of ink washes and the colours he does on that. It almost feels like a Frank Darabont comic, if that makes sense. You know, that real sort of feel. And Banana Sciole. Oh, I've probably murdered the name, but that sort of that twisted sort of
recommending this.
Almost like a YA futuristic sci-fi dodgeball tale that's like manga inspired by Michael Sanlaville. I've probably murdered that because he's a French creator. But that was it was a shonen style book. The first, I thought it'd be the complete tale, and there was a Kickstarter that I backed. There was a lot of it. It feels like there's going to be more. So so that's the ones off the top of my head. There's plenty more. But Dan, what have you got?
One of the first ones I talked about earlier in the year, and it's My Sugar Baby Adventure in Ukraine by a slew of artists and written by Jeffrey Levi or Levy. It's do you know when you kind of reading something, you think you'd have to keep like checking yourself, like this geezer actually fucking did this. So kind of he wants to get his end away with some young birds because his marriage is kind of like sex life.
I tell you what, you are the poet laureate of this podcast, aren't you?
So he's like, I'm gonna go over to Ukraine and like tap up some young girls for a few quid, and they can have sex with me for money. And that is the fucking premise. And it, from what I can tell, it's a true story. It's like how he gets on doing it, and it feels like these stories maybe you should keep to yourself.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
there's been a bit of that this year. Do you remember there was that comic about a bloke whose wife left him and he ended up crying in the supermarket? I
Yeah,
felt like saying,
yeah,
mate, have a word with yourself.
yeah. I feel like maybe some of these stories maybe you should have like you kept to yourself, but it's a fascinating fucking read to read someone doing it. I was like, okay, this is I imagine this is how exactly how it plays out, which is on horror comics, which are horror comics with an x.com/sugar daddy. If you put in my baby adventure in Ukraine until the war, you'll find that fucking insane. Shout out to Hardline Comics who put out Vermley Keep, which is Brian Dawson on the art, Rich on the writing of it. Obviously Mahoney's Vermley Keep is a fucking massive step up. It's fantastic quality book throughout, presentation, art, writing. I can't say enough about it. I was really so impressed with that book. It's one of those ones I don't know why I wasn't sort of scooped up by one of the bigger boys. Obviously you've got Zach Cahill, Liquid Night Racing is absolutely fucking banger. He's going from strength to strength, really finding his sort of niche and like his voice. I've got the Monkey Witness downstairs. I've yet to have a.
I only think that he must go straight with ink to the page.
Yeah,
it's almost like instinctual the way he does
quick.
it. Yeah, really good. Yeah.
We told her that story about all these packages turning up, and I had to put them under the tree because I wasn't sure what were Christmas gifts and weren't. And one of them was Monkey Witness, went under the tree. So opening that up, I was like, brilliant! This is fucking great. Also opened up, it's DUI4. And I forgot it'd come in the maelstrom and just got kind of like sucked into it. So that was awesome. I think that's nearly it. I've got the second year running now. I've done a shout out to like my comic panel of the year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Last
this.
year was the Black Inks comic. I can't really describe. I can sort of describe a comic panel with.
Yeah, go on.
It's like an audio medium. First one is like it's the main character's climbing up a tree. And the character saying to him, next time I see you, I'm going to set the three-headed dog on you. And he's like, why? So because you've been a cunt in life. I fucking died at that panel. Brilliant. Sorry, V. I feel like it.
He was just repeating what's said on the page.
Yeah. For the comic book panel of the year for 2025, it's Gina Winbrand is her comic. I think she did this for a university course, basically where she's transformed into a toilet, and in the panel she's a toilet, and Justin Bieber is urinating into her, and she's trembling, and they got the thought bubble as predicted. It's exquisite. It's fucking great. So
that's the true award every year.
Yeah,
the panel of the day.
The panel of the year.
The year, sorry. Yeah.
I know listeners are waiting for bated breath. I've
got to do my. Can I just do my?
Yeah.
Can I do my worthy mentions? So I've got two actually. So first, Prairie God, Shane Connery Volk. I just fucking love that book, man. The art in that is. Go find Shane on Instagram, and he's doing like a drawing every week or every few days, and he's just done an absolute Batman. It's fucking amazing. That dude, give that dude a Marvel book.
Yeah.
Just call it an Ultimate or whatever you want to fucking do, and give him a character.
Yeah.
It will be amazing.
Yeah.
And the big shout out is the Santos sisters, Greg Fake and Mark Koprinoff, who's my editor on American Nature, and our buddies. So pleased to see finally an Isaac going to a worthy person. Love those guys. Absolutely brilliant. So proud to be friends with them. Just great stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Dan, you're uninterrupted.
Long may they fucking go on. Yes. Yeah. We managed to scoop up an award ourselves.
Did we win it in the end? Did we?
Yeah, we ran a poll. It was a narrow squeak.
Watching this poll, watching it. I was.
You had to be quick to see the poll because it was only up for 4 minutes.
Where did the poll go up?
It ran on Twitter, like one of the biggest social media platforms in the world, and we got 100% of the votes that said the Awesome Comic Book Podcast is the best comic book podcast of 2025.
Well done, guys.
And,
and it's stiff.
Great.
Don't say the competition, but it was stiff competition.
Yeah.
I was sort of like on the fence, and I thought, no, I'm going to give the vote to the Awesome Comic Podcast.
Yeah.
The one vote that won it was
that yours?
So
was yours?
I feel like
you voted.
I feel like we deserve.
It still counts, though.
Yeah, but I was on a separate account, so it's fine.
Well done.
But the poll went up.
Went on the ACP Twitter account.
So the Awesome Comics Podcast poll, and we won our own. We won our own award.
Something to be proud of, guys. Don't do it down. That's an amazing achievement. I'm so proud of you.
It just feels wrong to me to win your own award.
Oh, everything feels wrong to you.
I know.
It's fine.
Especially when the lights are off.
Especially when
congrats,
Dan's
chaps,
talking about Ukraine.
Yeah.
So congratulations, fellas.
Well done, guys.
Well,
so
win.
proud of you.
I mean,
what an amazing achievement.
I mean, after all of the work that we put in this year, it's so good to finally be recognised.
By your peers.
Yeah.
When the woman in Cafe Nero on a Sunday morning goes, "You're always in here. Can you move? Because I've got a Hoover." Then you realise how much work I'm putting in.
Yeah.
The graft.
Yeah.
Slog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, 1 minute. Oh,
V, I'm so sorry. I've dropped TC bombs in this show.
Have you dropped 2? I
Is
can't
it
be.
2
I
or
can't be
1?
bothered to edit it this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the Gina Wimbrandt one and then another one?
Was there?
I'm sure.
Well, if it was a sniper one because I didn't fucking see it, so I'm not worried about it.
Don't matter.
Yeah. I mean, exquisite.
That's just terrible trembling in that. Oh, exquisite.
Such a great panel.
Exquisite. Yeah.
Such a fucking amazing panel.
I'm tempted to get that one with the 3-headed dog. You know, he's climbed up the tree. So next time I see you, I'm going to set 3-headed dog on you. Why? So you've been a cunt in life.
Oh dear.
I read this is going to be my recommend. We got it sent through on digitals.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Is it?
It's really, really interesting.
Nice.
The fucking art. God, this fucking guy.
Yeah, because we got that. That was a Living the Line one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's the one
very
I've really wanted to read, actually. But
I mean, he could, if we was talking about publishers, Living the Line has put out and continuing to put out some absolutely amazing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
we talked to them this year. I think we talked to them this year, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen some of the stuff, but like that panel cityscape there, it's like, man, it's fucking amazing. And the detailing he does, like when, like the cyberpunk elements, like the driving scenes as well, like, great.
Yeah.
I fucking love them.
Yeah.
All good, T?
you're right.
Yeah. Well hydrated.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
we're
think I've got
doing
much
next
in the way
one.
of shout-outs.
Sorry,
Shout-outs. I don't think I've got in the way much of shout-outs.
I only got the DUI one.
Uh,
So we're going to talk about the 500th, and then we're going to talk about something else.
yes,
Right.
of course,
Okay. Yeah. So save that shout out as well, Tony. So because
Yeah, we're not do that later. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that was our picks of our highlights. I mean, they're in no
faves.
they're in no particular order, by the way. This isn't one of those 1, 2, 3. This is not best. We don't do best ofs. These are just like some ones we wanted to shine a light on again. And like I say, we were greedy and did it in whatever way we wanted and shot loads of other people as well because we've just enjoyed reading comics this year. And we've read some good ones, and we looking forward to next year and discovering more stuff. There was some other stuff that happened this year that we want to sort of mention about. Shall we just mention the broad scope event, the one event first?
The biggie. The big one that we would have all chosen as our favourite thing this year would have been the 500th.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any doubt in our minds there.
Yeah.
No.
It was. I listened to the episode back recently. Loved it.
Yeah.
Just what fun! Lovely to see
it's
everyone.
such a good time. Yeah.
So
Seeing everyone brilliant.
Yeah. We were lucky enough. I mean, we have been lucky enough to make it to 500 plus episodes, and very grateful. So we put on a little event up in London, just a small affair
Above a pub.
Yeah, above a pub. That we were so great. So many wonderful people came along. Even people that weren't even listeners of the show came along and had a lovely time.
Yeah, a couple of people come along, didn't they? Yeah, like, what
had
is
a
this
lovely
all
time.
about?
There was games, there was drinking, there was.
I haven't seen so many drunk people in quite a while. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Dom for doing the raffle as well. Big shout out to
Made
Rich.
money for
Didn't
charity.
you go to the bar and said, "Look, how are we doing with the deposit?" And she was like, "Oh, don't worry about that."
Yeah, I had to give a deposit to get the room.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a small deposit, you know. It's
No.
good.
So and we were. I mean, like behind the scenes, we're always nervous. It's like putting on any event. You know, you're always nervous
Yeah.
about okay, how many
About
people
who's
are
come
gonna-
in. We're all sort of trying to add up how many people it is. And they said to me, how many? I'd go and pay a couple hundred quid, and then they said, right, you've got to make over a certain amount.
Yeah.
And it was quite a high number compared to when we did the 200th.
Pub in London. Pub in London in 2025. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And and I went and saw them halfway through, and I said, "How are we doing?" And she says, "Fucking hell, don't worry about it. You are so over it, you would not believe it." Which is similar to what happened in the 200. It's a similar sort of event.
Yeah.
I remember the woman just wandering off laughing when I asked her. But yeah, no, it's people were fucking eating and drinking, and yeah, it was great. And I'm sorry. I apologise for London beer prices, especially to Dan Charnley.
Yeah. It was, but
We'll get fucking trousers all down over there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we put a big shout out just after it happened anyway, like when we were back on the ground again, because it was kind of a little bit of a dream. But we truly appreciate this community or anyone that
people raised a load of money as well. It's like which we donated. But it was so kind of everyone. It was just I was a bit verklempt, is the phrase, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
When we were standing up there, I was kind of like looking at you two, thinking, "Oh fuck me, I don't know what to say."
No, I didn't have a clue what to say.
But what I will say is thank you to anyone that's listened to the show, that's followed us for any amount of time, that has followed us this year, because this happened 25th of January. I know, because I'm looking at a framed little picture of the three of us on the wall above me there.
I got that. I think mine's isn't it?
Yeah, that's yours.
And it was just it was a great time. Just that day, it was a wonderful day, lovely people. But even if you weren't there, thank you so much for listening to this show over the past year. I know some people listen in dribs and drabs. Some people just listen to one episode and then they don't listen for another 6 months. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Thank you for letting us into your life for a couple of hours, and hopefully we've made you laugh, and you possibly discover creators, or of course we have the Slack community, which is obviously the Slack, the sort of messaging forum like app. Lots of people use it for workplace sort of stuff, don't they? It's kind of like Teams, but we set one up. It's easy to join. Just get in touch with us, and if you want to get involved, when just talk about comics in a real positive way. That's another sort of double shout out. I want to thank everyone for the 500th. That was an amazing thing. But the ongoing, wonderful, supportive community of the Awesome Comics Podcast Slack, which is nothing really to do with us, other than we there was the initial cogs that setting it up, and certain channels that you guys have set up for it and stuff. I mean, I just like to go in and read what the discourse, and it is a genuinely positive discourse, which is rare on the internet. So thank you to everyone involved, no matter where you are in the world, because we really do appreciate you, and we're gonna keep talking nonsense and reading comics and making comics and all of that. So yeah, so from the 500th onwards, I mean, I can't believe we're on 548. That's how far away the 500th was. It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad.
Did we talk about doing a 600th? Maybe it's 666. I think we talked about, didn't we?
666. We might have to do a hellish like one. Yeah. I don't know what date that'd fall on. Yeah, but I mean, that'll probably be our final show when.
Never say that.
When Satan turns up to drag us back for not doing our job properly.
He's here.
But yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of other, as well as like the 500th. We wanted to talk about other things in comics. I'm going to jump in first with my one, because I was it wasn't necessarily I didn't get a chance to go to many shows or anything like that. So the one I'm going to sort of cheat and jump on board is the recent release of and all the work on DUI4. Massive props to Simon Russell for picking up the editing duties for Drawn Under the Influence 4, which is kind of an ongoing charity comics anthology that the community of the Awesome Comics Podcast put together for a good cause. This time it was the Cartoon Museum. Tony, where can you get it?
It's available on whatever Amazon in whatever country you happen to be into. If you go and put Drawn Under the Influence 4 or DUI 4 into Amazon, you'll find it. Yeah.
It's a murderer's row of fantastic creators just putting together great comics. We had Simon on to talk about putting that book together as well. But that for me, that was just one of the it was almost a nice cherry on top. So we had like the 500th, and then towards the end of the year, DUI 4 came out. That's a nice sort of tail end way to end the year, I think.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I didn't do any of the hard work really. So everyone else.
Yeah, you did something.
I've got a page in there, but you know what I mean. All the work that goes into something like that, you know, you got to appreciate everyone that's putting the graft. So that's my one. That was another sort of highlight for me watching DUI 4 come together. What about you, chaps?
Mine was Baltimore. So I've started going to an American convention. My sort of rule at the moment is 2 foreign conventions a year at the moment, and the American one this year was Baltimore, and I've booked it again for next year. Just booked a ticket.
Because you used to be an NYCC sort of every year.
I did NYCC from the year it came back for about 15 years. You know, pretty much non-stop, apart from COVID, and 1 year off for the Olympics because I couldn't get leave. But it began to fail a little bit for me. New York, it is a fucking nightmare just to get in, and the comic stuff was declining, and it was more of a pop culture thing. And I've been to New York over 30 times, literally in my life. So I thought, let's try somewhere else. Falpy wanted to try Heroes, so we did Heroes. Done that a couple of times, and then I've done Baltimore twice, and this time it's good for me because Cliff, who's obviously part of Tribute Press, which is big shout out Tribute Press, that's part of what I want to talk about as well. And Strotty lives near there as well. So Strotty's from Baltimore. So I get to see them. Alan Lisker is local, so he tables at it. And this year it was also a meeting point for the 11 o'clock massive. So Jason and Dap were there. God bless Vince B. He's not feeling very well. He's a bit sick at the moment. So all best vibes to him. But it plays into what we're going to talk about next week about what I want in the next year. What I'm sort of greedy for in the next year is it's a proper comic convention. It doesn't play silly buggers with fucking loads of silly posters and badges and shit like that. It plays up to what is comics and what's made comics and who we should talk about and who, you know, we're on the shoulders of giants, aren't we? And a lot of the times in comics. And there was people like I got again. I mean, I've met these guys before, but I got again to spend time with Mike Grell. Me, Strotty, and Cliff spent the most hilarious 20 minutes with Howard Chaykin, who is just a fucking one of those comics dudes who just can do no wrong. Alan Davis, Bart Sears, so many people at it who are just loads of back issues. Sure, they sell fucking action figures, but it's all about the comics as well. Loads of original art. There's just racks of original art. Just you can open a page and look at a John Romita page. It's just incredible. And I just think we're missing a trick here in the UK. We're playing up to just whatever anyone thinks is trendy, and we're just ignoring those guys who just love comics and girls. We're just ignoring those people because you go to find a comic convention that has back issues. Find one for me. You know, there's none.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. And I just to spend. I mean, I spent a weekend with my friends, and it's how it was. And I got to travel to another country. I got to wander around Washington beforehand. And for anyone going to Baltimore, it's 40 minutes in a car to Washington. It's a great little area, and it just fills my heart walking away from it. It hasn't happened to me for a while where I walk away from a comic convention thinking that was the best thing ever. Hope I can get everything in my suitcase. There you go. So that's my next one is Baltimore and my buddies from there.
Nice. Dan, what about you?
I was pleased. My sort of memories of working with other people this year on comic stuff. Obviously, more recently, I had the Grim Scary Tales book we put out, working with Dan Charnley, Cliff, and obviously
which looks great. Looks great, by the way.
Cheers, man. Cheers. Well, the thing is, I always often think this of you, and I know we've chatted about this, is you're a bit of a lone comic maker, aren't you? And to have that little gang of, it's different for me because I'm always working with an artist. I'm always with Cliff or fucking Nick or Falpy, all the time with Falpy, you know, and this or Daryl and all these sort of people. But it's just been you. So to have that little fraternity must be a bit different for you.
Yeah, it does. It's a very different experience. Like I've gone from doing Grim Scary Tales now to doing Viper, which is very much like
on your own again.
I'm on my own again. It's not. it's not a bad experience, but I kind of see honestly, I'm kind of leaning more to the working in a team. Just to stuff, you can get stuff done quicker. There's more kind of feedback, and just the experience is a bit more enjoyable. Working with the Green Arch guys, Ben and Alan, put out the book earlier this year. It's just fucking great stuff. Really love working with those guys.
We had a great chuckle at a meal, and the thing that impressed me when we went for a meal with Alan and his good lady recently was the fact that you're still doing stuff for them. You seem to do quite a lot for them, and that's a nice little group of people there. Isn't it?
And I'm looking forward to. We're going to be working on a Saint book in 2026, which I hope I haven't spoiled that if that's not been announced yet. But really looking for that. We've been doing sketches, hopefully getting some a really good artist to do a variant cover or a main cover for us.
Oh yes, I've heard who this is. Yeah.
So
that's
really
incredible. That's incredible, and you'll be working with that legend.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to when I did the working with John Late on that Comic House anthology we did, and Carlos Esquera drew the two characters that I designed.
That's right.
It's like, this is surreal because this fucking guy is like the Judge Dredd artist to me, and it's fucking nuts. Really fun times.
Incredible stuff, man. Well done. Nice work, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And just more to come.
Yeah.
And then year.
I mean, big year for fucking me next year. We can talk about it next week, but
I've got a few. I know what you mean.
But one thing before we roll into the final sort of bit of the show, and some recommendations, because we keep on recommending, we still got so much more to give.
Still reading.
Yeah, still reading. Yeah. We still got eyes.
Did you guys get any comics for Christmas?
Yes.
I got a few. I got 20th Century Boys from Johnny Cannon. Big shout, Johnny.
Lovely stuff.
I got Viz from you. I got Roy the Rover's book from Tom. That was making me laugh. It's just sitting there.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm taking it to work with me tomorrow. Yeah, I got some good stuff, man.
And you got a package
arriving from you. Yeah.
Which I really hope you like, and you haven't read because it's one that's very dear to my heart.
Oh, nice. Oh, good.
Interesting.
I got you something that's dear to my heart because it's a little bit saucy.
Yeah, I know.
That's some filth in that book, man.
Yeah, I've started to read it and be like, oh.
Yeah. Well, you interested me when you said, because I knew you hadn't read Love and Rockets.
Yeah.
And the other week you said something like a comic about music, like Love and Rockets. And I thought, I think you're reading into that from the cover. And the first issue.
Yeah.
But the Love and Rockets goes off in. Well, as you see from that one.
Yeah, when I said about
bigger boobs than Love and Rockets.
I think when I spoke about Love and Rockets, it was one of those moments of like, speaking from someone who hasn't read it but has read articles about it. Do you know what I mean? You know when some people do
because it's ever present Love and Rockets, isn't it? Yeah. No, I knew what you meant, and I thought, because I've not read all of Love and Rockets. I've only read probably.
And I know it goes in loads of different. It explores lots of different avenues. Love and Rockets,
depending on which brother you're reading as well.
Yeah.
But that I'm glad you're reading that, man. That's an experience. Don't read it on the bus.
No. I wouldn't take a nice book like that on the bus. It's a lovely book.
I got a copy of Remote Space sent through by Cliff Rathbun.
All right.
It's UV. Nice work.
Okay.
Ace.
Yeah. It was a book that
I love Cliff Rathbun's books. He's great.
And I remember speaking about it on the show. I mean, story wise, some things hit, some things don't. But purely beautiful.
Yeah, aesthetic.
Absolutely. So I thought you'd enjoy that.
I was gifted the Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman, so I'll read them through because I've only read the first issues of those.
Wow.
And
cool.
Yeah.
Did I get you? I got you an Eleanor's thing, didn't I, as well?
Yes, you did. You did indeed. I'm fucking looking forward to. I've got a big pile of books now to add into a massive. Pile of books.
I've got a little pile of books that I'm looking forward to just sort of reading and stuff. I think I'm going to try and sort of chip away at the shelves. It's like some of the books that I've had and I've wanted to, I want to have some coffee time books. Do you know what I mean? Sit down with a hot drink and just sit down and have a genuine reading experience. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by
every day give yourself a present. That's what Agent Cooper says. That's what I do with comics. Every day I give myself a little present and read a comic and have a coffee.
Nice. Been reading through some Strontian Dog case file books. Man, they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It's good stuff in there. Yeah,
Think about
it's a shame they're
books
sort
like
of
that.
slightly smaller, aren't they? I always think I'd have loved.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
about
Big
books
version.
like that I've realised, because I remember when I was reading Strontium Dog, I think we covered some 2000 AD at one point, and I said that I had one that I picked up. When you see those huge sort of compendiums of books like that, like these old school 6-page stories, etc., 10-page, whatever they can be really daunting when you see the thickness of the book. But it's I sort of it's an obvious way to look at it, but it was something that I had to learn, that like you can just read 20 pages, you can just read 10 pages, you can read that, put it down, and come back to it later, pick it up again.
That was designed.
Yeah, because a lot of these type of books, like you look at like a From Hell, or this big, some of these books are like, oh God, I have to sit down and continually read that. I mean, it's the same with a prose book. You look at some fantasy novels and you just think, I'm not reading that because that'd take me years because of how thick they are.
It's the reason I'm not reading the Alan Moore book. I haven't got time for a
and
million
it's the
words.
same. It's the same with graphic novels, isn't it? Well, sometimes when you see the thickness of that spine, it can be intimidating. But those omnibuses of those old school comics, don't be put off by that, because they are built to be short, sharp hits that are totally digestible. Did you find that, Dan, that you can just go in?
Oh yeah, totally. Because I was, you'd read like a story and okay, that's enough for that one, and then you come back in, and it's very much like the kind of TV thing. The story does, the setup does change over the time, but essentially every time you come back to a classic Strontium Dog or any of the 2000 AD stuff, it's like the status quo is almost the same all the time.
Yeah,
like you got like Johnny Alpha and Wolf Sternhammer, but
there's a few of their characters did that. You could do that with to a certain extent with Dredd and G.I. Joe and Robo Hunter and that sort of thing. Some of them weren't designed that way, but some of them were. I think you need those constant.
Yeah, you
stories,
pick it up and then you're back to it, and like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What I've reread it and I fucking completely forgot this. On Sternhammer, he's got that fur shoulder pad. Because in one of the early issues, they meet. Oh God, what's one of those aliens? The Gronks that get really scared.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets scared and died. And he goes, "Oh, one of the biggest honors of a Gronk is for you to like wear my skin."
I didn't remember that. Oh, okay.
And he skins him, and from then on, he's got like this fur sash over his shoulder, and that's that. And it's like it's all from the first Strontium Dog story. I completely forgot.
Yeah, me too.
I love stuff like that. When you rediscover or discover anew sometimes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But before we move on, though, there were some things. Do we want to talk about what we said at the start of the year?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Dan's got them.
Dan's.
Oh, do you want to do that this week? I thought we was going to say.
Yeah, we'll do that
because next week we're going to be doing a fresh batch.
So this is 2025, what we hoped from 2025. And next week we're going to do what we're looking forward to in 2026. So this applies to this week, I'd say.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so I went back and listened to it. We did at the beginning of 2025, we did like a wish show. And that sort of condensed what each of us have put. I'll go from Vince, Tony, Dan, same setup we've done all show.
Okay.
So your three were, Vince, was visit more comic shops, for comic shops to have a boom year. More joy in comics, more fun, enjoyment, less doom and gloom. And when you look back at 2025, I want to look back at some of the comic projects I've done, a book or some artwork. Pen and ink is going to touch paper. Tony, your three were.
Well, let's just. Shall we do Vince first? Vince,
sure.
Do we want to?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to feedback from Vince? So, you did DUI, didn't you? You did DUI 4.
Yes.
So you done that?
Yes. Well, I did that, but I mean, it's a minor spoiler for next week, but just ongoing art projects, and I think in order to go back, I think I'm going to do sort of more sort of like certainly to get the muscles built up again, some more sort of one-off pieces. I might just do some. So stay tuned to my social media because I might be sketching some stuff and doing some artwork. But I think definitely I want to go pen and ink again. Do you know what I mean? I know I said this at the beginning of the year, but I think to be tactile, I need that.
What was the DUI thing? Was that digital then?
It was digital actually, that one, because of the nature of the design of that. Because my page in DUI was, I think if I tried it, I mean that's the beauty of digital. If I tried doing that and drawing it, it would have probably been a nightmare for myself. But digital will work with that, and that certainly that sparked something. I think doing that, I was like, oh, okay, seeing it all come together. I would think out of the three, I haven't seen enough comic book shops. There's been some comic book shops I really want to visit. And I hope, in terms of the boom year that I wanted, I hope to God you've had good years. Obviously, we've talked about comic book stores. Please do let us know how your year has been. We don't need to talk about it on the show, but we'd love to know how well you guys are doing, because and I haven't been travelling the country that much. I mean, getting like further up north and stuff. That's another one. I mean, for instance, I'd love to get up to Chester to Secret Identity one day.
Yeah, I've got relatives in Chester. I keep meaning to go up there.
Yeah, or like OK Comics. That's another sort of definitely want to see that at some point. We're planning some trips for 2026. So as always, if you plan a trip, find out where the
comic shop.
Yeah, find out where the comic book store is. So stay tuned for that, because I think that's an ongoing project anyway. Visit more comic book shops.
Yeah,
we should all want that. Do you know what I mean? We should all sort of say, I'm going to visit some comic book shops this year. And when I say comic book shops, I don't mean Forbidden Planet. God bless them. There's a lot of people who work in Forbidden Planet who's fighting the good fight and all that stuff. But I mean the independent, these little comic book stores.
Whenever I go somewhere in the UK, I always look up as a comic book shop.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah.
I'm going to Vegas in March, so I've already know where.
That'll be the last time we see him. Ooh, he'll wake up with a tiger. So there's the art thing. I think the success for me would be that find more the joy in comics, because like. Looking back on the list, whether it be the shout at, the ones I give an honourable mention to, I genuinely got a kick out of them. And there was more a feeling of like just a joy of reading comics. They were fun. There was energy. Sometimes when you look at these lists and they're all like grim, gritty, darkness everywhere, even if we talk about. If I was focused on the Ghost Machine books, even though there's threat and there's danger, there's such life in that universe. A Battle Beast, full of violence, gore, but there's an energy to it.
The Absolute books, man. Even if you read them or not, there's an energy in them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It feels like almost bubbling under the surface after sort of a dark phase. There's an energy that's starting to rise through, and just trying to push itself to the forefront, and I'm all about that. I just want to keep the good
this
times rolling.
Into one of Tony's points when we come round to it. But
keep the good times rolling. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, there's a lot of bad times. So comics have got to be.
In regards to your kind of like you as a creator, Vince, you feel like you've hit a block of trying to get that work done. Have you kind of like have you identified what?
I think, and we
I
certainly
think it's too blunt, but
no, that's exactly what it's got to be. I mean, we've explored it a little bit just through dialogue on this show. If anyone's listened to this show, and I've had these, sometimes more openly honest than I thought I was going to be about it. Do you know what I mean? And this isn't a sit down on the couch and talk about it, but there has been a real frustrating sort of like for the past couple of years of, almost you're beating yourself up so much, and I just kind of want to. I think there's too much pressure on a bigger project. It's almost like there's going to be something. It's one of those. It's got to change. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm almost. I think pretty much ready. But I just want to get the feeling back, the pen in my hand, and like I've got some interesting ideas. Like I've got like I bought myself and. You go through your house and you're sorting stuff out ready for Christmas, and you just making sure it's all ready. And of course, I've got pads up the wazoo, like in one of my cupboards back there, store cupboard. I was going through it, and I found like a square pad, and I remember getting it. I think it's only 210 by 210 millimeters. And I suddenly thought, I think I got that ages ago just to fucking try an artistic experiment, and I've kept that pad out because I think rather than just doing a standard comic book size, I think I'm going to come back with something just a little different. I'm going to try something a bit different. Take the pressure off a little bit. I think I've been trying to put the pressure on too much to create a diamond, and I don't. I don't need to. It doesn't have to be perfect.
That pressure's coming from yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one else. I know no one else is doing it, But sometimes, your own worst enemy. It's
getting in
that.
your head.
Yeah.
But the two things I'd say is, one, nothing makes you feel better at this point. It's just by doing something.
Yeah.
And don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just sit down and do something. And the other thing I was quite inspired by was the Squareface Diaries? What are they called again?
Yeah, Squareface Diaries. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not just do a panel a day? It doesn't even have to fucking mean anything.
Yeah.
Just do a panel a day, and whether they join up or not, it don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can only be better than half the Marvels out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like there might be some artistic experimentation in the future. I mean, last time I tried some artistic experimentation, black came out of it. So, we'll see. Watch this space, I think.
Yeah.
Without saying too much about next week's show, but
Okay.
Yeah, but that was one that when this came up and when we put it in the WhatsApp, I was like, oh fucking hell! And that's and that's the problem.
I never know what I said fucking 5 minutes ago. Never mind a year ago.
It's the mindset.
I was like, I'm not sure he's going to be happy with hearing this.
Yeah, but it's the mindset thing. I tell you one thing that's really positive. And Dan, you part of this, like Arnold Schwarzenegger's newsletter? Are you on it?
Yeah.
It is one of the most positive things in the world, isn't it? Just about
He's very upbeat, and
just in general, and it's not just exercise or anything like that, but there's mindset things, and there's some real stuff in there that's like, do not concentrate on the slip and think it's the end of it. It's just the slip, and then you'll move on. Yeah, there's lots of, I think, and I suddenly thought, well, rather than it just being about health and fitness, it can be about anything, can't it? So, watch this space. Watch this space. That was mine.
Cool. He's all about driving forward, isn't he? Getting shit done.
Yeah.
And looking after miniature ponies and donkeys. I fucking love that man.
Yeah, Ollie's in his hot tub.
Right.
Yeah.
Smoking a cigar.
Tony. So Tony's were have a decent Legion of Superheroes comic.
No, it ain't fucking happened. It's got worse.
People forgetting the comic greats remember them.
Yeah, I think we need to remember that in the UK. Yeah, I think I don't think there's been any change in that.
No, there hasn't been any change. I tell you, the only time it changes, and it's vapid and for a short space of time, it's when one of them unfortunately passes away, and then all of a sudden,
Man, you're talking about less than 48 hours, and the news cycle moves on.
Yeah.
And I tell you what,
there can be a difference between appreciating and remembering. There is a difference between that. Appreciate them now instead of remembering them.
Buy something off them now.
Yeah.
Not all of them are wealthy. Yeah. And a lot of their product has been fucking monetized massively elsewhere. The other thing I think we've got is, well, we've got 14 months till 2000 AD 50th anniversary.
Okay.
And there's still a few OGs left.
Yeah, you get them in, man.
Yeah, just fucking go buy their comics, go relish and enjoy the old days of 2000 AD. I just think the 40th was so lovely for us, celebrating the past and everything. Yeah. I just think it's just massively moved on, and there's some people that work in a 2000 AD I wouldn't fucking give a lift to the train station to. Do you know what I mean? It's like fucking awful people. And I think we need to sort of start remembering the reason that the comic industry exists is because of a lot of people who are, some of them still about. Yeah, definitely.
Your last one, T, which factored into Vince's one, was the cyclical nature of comics coming back round again, a resurgence in comics after an economic downturn, the grassroots coming back up again. I'm not sure if we've seen that or not.
No, I don't know. I think we've seen it in a couple of places. So we've seen it in some of the sort of small press little groups of outfits, like me and Falpy and Cliff and Daryl, a tribute, and like Black Ink Comics, and like a few other people who are doing their own thing. Gonzo came on and he talks about his little firm up in Leeds.
Nick Gonzo.
Nick Gonzo. And there's a few little groups like that are going on that are sort of there because it's something to do when fucking everything else in the world is expensive. You can still go and get a bit of paper and make a comic. Ain't that difficult. And I think from a bigger sort of sales point of view, sales mainly aren't great, but we've had the absolutes. And what are those little the smaller formatted,
the chopped down versions,
they seemingly are doing quite well still. So there are little bumps here in the road here and there, and I think there's some of them are earning big money, big figures, and it's good to see that it's probably because of that. I'm guessing stretching out beyond the normal fucking Wednesday Warriors, but there's so much product out there, mate. stuff that's appearing on the shelves I've never heard of. And I don't think the sales are great on them. But there's little bumps in the road where you think, oh, it's doing all right, and then someone says, yeah, but and think, oh well, maybe that ain't so well. But yeah, I think it needs addressing. I think the big problem at the moment is Marvel, man.
Yeah,
Marvel is just. There's no coming back from the bullshit you've been fucking spouting for the last couple of years. The X-Men universe in particular.
Man, they get fucking Rob Liefeld. I know he's kind of like not. He's been fucking just going at him on social media, just saying you're putting out shit. It's
just first draft baby talk.
Yeah,
it's fucking terrible. Awful. And I think what Marvel have got to do, they've got to wipe their mouths and do a 52, do a new 52. I think they've just got to fucking start again, man.
It's gonna be
I'm a lover of continuity. I'm an addict to continuity.
Yeah.
I will fucking tell you the fucking life cycle of fucking Daredevil or whatever it is. But even I'm gone like, nah, fuck it. Just wipe your mouths, walk away.
There's
kind of poison the well a bit.
There's a thing. I'm going to make a tabletop role playing game reference here. There's a thing that like when you're running a game and you could be fucking miles down the road and it's just not working anymore. All of a sudden, a meteor hits the fucking Earth and wipes, changes everything. You need a fucking come to Jesus moment. There needs to be a fucking...
Which needs to be more than just a single, She-Hulk isn't working. Let's reboot it to issue 1, but with the same creative team and the same creative team.
No. That's the problem.
That's just short-minded. They need to just wipe the board completely. Everything needs to come off the table. They need to choose some of the OG, some of the new... Some of the talented people, they need to fucking think about paying them a good wage and getting them on board and starting. Just have one Avengers title, just have one Spider-Man title. Just go and do it that way.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like they need to do it. I think the thing about the management there are a mess.
Yeah, and the name Legacy title no longer means legacy. It just means a numbering thing. Make it a legacy title again. Make it, this is the only book we have of this. There is only one fucking X-Men book. We used to spout about, backseat driving about this is what Marvel should do. They should only have like a core group of books and blah, 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 blah.
But seemingly they've got people on their staff who know less than us.
Yeah.
You see them talking in these interviews about things that, what's your favourite comic book? And they'll say, oh, the animated X-Men series. Fuck off.
That whole fucking X-Men relaunch was a joke.
Absolute mess.
It was a joke. I don't know how you could not look at that and think, sure, this is just a fucking litmus test for just how bad they fucked this whole brand up.
It's just jobs for their mates on social media.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Yeah. But you can, you can't sort of like, we're going to call in the big guns, we're going to get Gail Simone on this. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, you say to people, say, what's Gail Simone written? It's good. And they say, oh, Birds of Prey. And you think, have you read it? And they go, oh, no. Because it was just an okay comic. It was just an okay ongoing.
Yeah.
It's not fucking Watchmen.
Yeah.
But she's been off the fucking game for fucking ages. Just been on Twitter.
Yeah.
I just okay. Anyway, right. And my wishes were get more small press comics under my nose.
I think you've done that,
mate. I've been trying to go online and get more comics from smaller creators on forum boards and stuff.
Well, you've also searched and pledged to a lot of Kickstarters this year that press
keep on trying to get the
which means you found some duds and you found some gold, haven't you? So
there's quite a few duds, but there's
I didn't want to bring
that up. I don't mention them.
Yeah.
I don't get a shit on them. My sort of like pie in the sky one was for more small press creators to get back on the horse, and that was like some of the books we've enjoyed and creators we've enjoyed their work off from old to sort of get back into the game, which I can fucking wish in one and shit in the other, and one of them will fill up first. I'd love to see some of the people who've done these books come back and give it a go, but it ain't gonna happen really. And the last one was trying to get the most out of the time I've got, which I try. I don't want to turn my life into a fucking
God. That sounds like you're dying, Dan. Don't.
Yeah, time. A time and motion man of like working every fucking second I can to sort of get the most I can do comics and stuff. But just,
Dan, what I mean? Look.
Don't want to be like that.
I know, but I will say, your work ethic and your output is phenomenal. Like
it's enough, right? I don't need to be.
It's more than enough. Fucking hell! But there are professionals who'd be happy with that. I know you're a professional comic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Professional as in you do it as
a full-time comic creator. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you smashed that one. Like you're. You're creating more rods for your back because you're being more productive. But also, the things I'm excited about for the next couple of years, like coming from you, is seeing Vanguard finish. And I mean that in a positive way, because I want to know how, because no one knows apart from you how it's going to wrap up. And then what happens afterwards, which I think we're getting a flavour of with the Viper books. You get a sense of like the muscles you're stretching, and certainly the different, like when we work together on something in a DUI, those artistic muscles you're stretching as well. It's going to be fascinating to, so it's exciting. You're pushing yourself and you're testing yourself all the time.
It'd be interesting, like I said, the next week's show, and we're doing 26.
I just hope that you don't like try to lift too much. Do you know what I mean? You got to be sensible, haven't you? They're all muscle. The creativity is still a muscle as well. And like, if you try lifting too heavy and you've overworked yourself, which I think because you're professional, you're a creative professional anyway, so when
try and keep it in check. I've been working on Viper Red Shadow, and it's like it's not going as fast as I'd like. Yeah, I've given myself the deadline of being in people's hands in February.
Yeah, but I think you more than a lot of other people have got a lot more goodwill than you think. And the important thing is you would never take advantage of that. Some people have goodwill.
If I'm going to be late, I'll say it's going to be a month late, or it's going to be a couple of weeks late.
And people are like, fine, because you're going to get a quality product in the end. Yeah. So
and just don't take the money and fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a car.
Which it always concerns me when you find out someone you admire and stuff, and then you're like, oh, they've not done this, and they've been paid. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
So going back to Rob Liefeld again. So glad I didn't fucking back Brigade Kickstarter.
Just imagine if we got him on the show one day next year.
Yeah, we'd be nice to him.
Yeah.
We'd totally kiss asses.
I wouldn't know what to say.
Yeah. I had this conversation with
how your feet.
Sorry. I had a conversation with Johnny Cannon earlier about this, and we were discussing who would rather read a comic by, Jim Lee or Rob, and I'd rather read a comic by Rob.
I'd get more entertaining out of the Rob comic.
Me too.
Yeah. I'd be just like, what the fuck is this?
Me too.
Yeah.
There's more energy in a Rob comic. Somehow.
If it was a Jim Lee art comic written by Frank Miller or Chris Claremont, maybe that's
maybe not. But
different. Yeah. Fair play, yeah.
Interesting. So 2025. Wow. Look at that. It's almost done. There's only a couple of days left now. We hope you've had a great Christmas.
I'm working all the way.
Let's not be too depressed right now, Tony. We still got to do the rest of the show yet. But yeah, we hope you had a great Christmas and New Year, everyone. But whenever you listen to this, whether it be on the New Year or maybe it's in January, whenever you heard this, perhaps you want some things to check out. Well, we've got you covered, because it's time for that part of the show where we recommend some shit.
Is it the shouts first?
Do we have any shout-outs this week?
I've only got the DUI one. So go and buy DUI 4. We've already mentioned that.
Yeah, we will.
Plus, the other thing is 2nd of January, Friday, is looking like it's going to be the new drink and draw date. I think I've just checked the...
So this Friday?
Yeah,
this Friday.
We're going to do drink and draw.
All right.
Yeah, I'll send the link out in the Slack, and if you want it, just contact one of us if you're not on the Slack, which you should be.
Yeah, keep an eye on the skies. Dan, did you have any shout-outs?
2 quick ones. We got the Lawless Comic Con. Remember, God, that's fucking come around
quick.
Oh,
right, Lawless.
Knives and 10th of May. That's not long. Doubletree by Hilton Hotel, Bristol BS1 6NJ. So, Christ, that's coming around quick. We've got Yo Comics and ET, calling all young comic creators, coming March 2026. We're looking for kids who make comics to come and share their creations at the fair. That's at Stanley Arts, 12 Saffron Hill, London, SE25 6AB. If you look up Yo Comics Fair, I'm sure you can get more details from them.
Nice. Right, what comics should people read? Tony, do you want to take us?
Yeah, so my first one is interesting from a number of reasons, but it's When We Were Trekkies by Joe Sikoryak. It's 10 issues, and I found it on Instagram. If you're in the US, I think it's free postage. I paid for it, and then he messaged says, I can't send it to the UK for free, but how about this amount? And it was a very reasonable amount, which I chucked him straight away. And it's 10... Firstly, it's called When we were Trekkies. Now, I used to be a Trekkie. I'll be honest with you. Um,
Okay.
I stopped more recently because I just didn't enjoy the new output of it. To be fair, but apart from Picard, which I didn't mind. But so I used to be. So it kind of got me in the feels, as kids say, with the title. The format is really interesting. I find this really interesting. So they are what used to be a regular format in UK small press, which was the A5 comic. And they're all the same size. There's A5 comic. I'm talking about that sort of size.
Yeah.
And he'd done 10 of them. Now, if we did a comic that was 10 issues, we'd probably consider collecting it, wouldn't we? At least by now. But rather than do that, what he's done is he's found a plastic case, which he's put an insert into that, so it looks like you've got a spine, and inside that plastic case are the 10 issues, which I think is brilliant. I just think that's a great workaround because it saves the fact that you've probably got loads of old stock. You don't have to run a Kickstarter to get a bound, or a spined edition, worrying about whether that's going to make its money, or you got to post that out, whatever it's going to be, or reformat it, redesign it. And he's just found this workaround. So it actually works on a shelf. You can put it on a shelf because it looks like it's got a spine, but as you put, it's got an opening at the top, and you take these zines out from inside, which I think is a great idea. So I think that's something people could probably have a think about. The story, so it's a familiar story in a way. Kids, I'm going to say I'm in my late 50s. Joe's probably maybe 5 years older than me. And it's a familiar story of kids who grew up a bit like me. I'm not sure about you guys, but grew up with anything involving comics and science fiction and movies and TV, but in an era when you didn't have the internet and you were reliant on tracking down books and magazines with listings and back issues.
That was my childhood.
Yeah. And it's been done a bit, hasn't it? It's been done a bit by Evan Dorkin in the Eltonville Club. Most especially, I'd say, in comics. You've got movies like Fanboys, Free Enterprise, and Comic Book Villains as well, which sort of detail that scene. There's quite a lot of books out there. I can't remember the name of it now for the life of me, but I read a book recently on the history of the comic convention in America, and it goes through interviewing the people who started San Diego and all this sort of thing. And what it does is it's this group of kids, they're sort of slightly varying in age, but they discover there's a local convention and they decide, it's going to be a Star Trek thing, perhaps we can get. And typically they spend so long and it wasn't called cosplay then, it was called just wearing Star Trek costumes. They take too long and get there and the convention's almost over, and it's just sort of very human. It doesn't have the sort of violent overexertion of Eltingville, which was just a bunch of arseholes, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
He really thought they were arseholes. But in this, you kind of warm to them, really. And for me, it was a little heavy on cosplay. I'm not a big fan of it. Back then, it was more innocent. It wasn't quite as organised. And, because back then it was just one big hobby. I think cosplay kind of has taken off into its own hobby here for a while.
Yeah.
But there's loads of references and stuff about books that I bought back then, guides and posters and people who went up and talked about things, and on the back of each zine you get a photocopy page, which is a sort of all different photocopies of things, the ticket to the convention, or a poster book they bought, or a zine. The thing is about some of these sci-fi IPs is they had some really interesting zines which you just can't find anymore. There were some really interesting Star Trek zines going on back in the sort of late 60s, early 70s, of people who just like write essays about what they thought about Vulcan or something, and it's completely just fan stuff. And they'd have like drawings of Uhura or Sulu or something on the cover, and there was some really gorgeous stuff going on back then, and it's really reminiscent of it. Really brought back that period for me. And when I had I think there was a Doctor Who book that was a guide to all the episodes. And I'm like, you didn't have the internet then. You couldn't just go on the internet and look up what the row of I'd have to wait for something to come through the door, and it would be a back issue seller sending me a listing of what they had available. And I would pore over it for weeks and wish I had that money to buy all these issues and, this sort of thing. And you don't feel that anymore. All you got to do is click a link these days. There's no searching secondhand bookshops and traveling, across London on the tube to get to the Forbidden Planet or something like that. It's just a different world, and it was a really pleasant read. I really enjoyed it. When we were Trekkies, Joe Sikorak. I think he's a filmmaker, Joe. If you go to Joe, is JoeSikoRyak, joesikoriak.com, or if I found him on Instagram, just one of those sort of, is it reels where they come up and it's just like suggested kind of stuff. Joe_Sikorak. He's got a Patreon as well, Joe Sik Comics, Joe SIK Comics the next, and you can find him on Patreon as well. But really nice little surprise. And really friendly in communicating. We could have just chatted on for ages. I'm probably going to send him a little email just saying, "Oh, thanks. This really brought back memories. This book from Star Trek." And
awesome.
and they're watching. There's a lovely moment at the start of it. I'll get off this in a second, but there's a lovely moment at the start of it where there's one kid watching Star Trek and he's going, "Which one is it?" And back then you didn't know the titles of these things. You didn't have a list of all the others. He says, "This is the one with the rock creature or something." I'm like, wow. I haven't seen that one. Is it the one with the cowboys? No, it's not the one with the cowboys. And it's like that. And that's how I used to remember Star Trek.
Yeah.
Is this the one with Abraham Lincoln in? You're like that.
Yeah, you remembered the plot as opposed to the title.
Yeah. Just incredible stuff. Yeah, really brought it home for me. I kind of wish it was like that still. I'll be honest with you. I wish it was more innocent times, but it's not.
Man, yeah.
That's my first one.
They can get on with what they're going to do. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go, guys. Who's next?
I'll jump in with my first one. I discovered this on Global Comics. This is from Acre Comics. Have you heard of this outfit before?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
If you go to wiseacre.us, you see their website, which is just full of great titles. But this one just caught my eye. Neon Ghost. This is a trade paperback. It's about 74 pages. There's about around 50 pages of story, and there's some back matter and sort of behind the scenes look and stuff. But I'll get into that a little bit in a minute. This is created by Nigel Lynch, written by Nigel Lynch, illustrated by Juan Carlos Francisco, coloured by Mateus Huve, lettered by Pete Moss, and there's some alternative covers and stuff. But this is like I say, it's from wiseacre.us. You can follow on Instagram at Wiseacre Comics. What this is, it's a cyberpunk sci-fi action book. The synopsis on the website: step into a neon-lit metropolis where survival is brutal and the line between hero and villain blurs. Neon Ghost follows Tala, a young woman torn from her sister and enslaved in a sweatshop. Hardened by adversity, Tala becomes a fierce mercenary, fueled by revenge and a drive to reunite with her sister. Teaming up with Arena, a survivor with a dark past, Tala uncovers a sinister conspiracy that reaches the highest levels of society. Now, that is obviously just the tip of the iceberg. This really caught me, because sometimes, and we talk about these sort of narratives, like say worlds. When we were talking about earlier about worlds, dropping them in, space, whether it be sci-fi or fantasy. Cyberpunk is very much like that as well. You can be sometimes dropped into a cyberpunk world that is so in depth and dense that sometimes my head spins. I don't not quite know where I am. Do you know what I mean? Or it can be a little too pleased with how futuristic it is for its own good. This struck me because even though it's set in we're talking 2000 and I think 2020 something, so no 2220, that all that sort of time. Well, actually no, 2150, that kind of time. So we're talking the far future, but this book reads almost it feels more contemporary as well. Like the futuristic stuff and all the nods to future tech. We're not talking huge Blade Runner buildings and over the top. It feels more militaristic, or there's a certain realness to it, and they deal with obviously they're talking about slave labor and people put into these sort of the themes are very relevant throughout history, and you put that with almost a covert operative badass, not assassin, but not a secret agent. They're an operative. and it's the story of how this person goes from being this kid who was separated from their sister, always wanting to reunite with their sister, but that journey of who they became. And you see this figure on the cover that's wearing like a sort of a cloak that has like a sort of a mesh like tech look to it, and you kind of think, oh, it's going to be someone with loads of powers, or they're going to be doing all this stuff, and it's not. What I found about this book, because I knew nothing going into it, I just, as always, sat down, experienced the story fresh, see if you hook me. And it really did. It jumps forward throughout time. You know, it sort of takes about like 10 years, you know, goes forward 10 years, 20 years, that sort of thing. It's a dark world. It's a relatable world, but there's also themes that you recognise. The action is fast paced. The bad guys are truly bad guys, but without being, it doesn't reduce itself to being like being filled with gore. There's a time and a place for gore and shock, and it feels right that, considering some of the themes in this book, they don't go there. I mean, the work by Juan Carlos is just, it's perfect for this book. It's not over the top cartoony. There's a real, I mean, this is like Wise Acre, and they seem to be a outfit putting out loads of books, very professional looking books, but the world feels very real. I learned after this, when I got to the back matter, and it is a real story. It's a one and done story, this Neon Ghost, and when I got to the end of it, it felt complete. The tale felt complete, but then I learned that character is part of another universe, is part of this universe that
what they're making,
the writers made. This is a spin-off from another title, the Stray Dogs sort of universe, and she's like a member of another. It worked perfectly, as these sort of books should, because I enjoyed it, and immediately I was like, I've got the next book ready to read now. Like, line up this covert op, and it seems to be like almost a cyberpunk not GI Joe. That might be too loose a term for it, but you know, this operatives, like a Call of Duty kind of team. But I learned about that world, and this is some of the best back matter I've read, actually, because we love back matter. That's, you know, sometimes a writer talks about, oh, when I created this story, you know, here's the characters, here's some sketches. Sometimes you get a real sort of a light dusting of what, but you got real no sense of the bigger universe that this is part of. What these guys have done in this, in the making of, that they've put in the back of the book, it was how it all began. That was the moment. There's this brilliant sort of prose piece that takes you through, okay, this is how it started, and then an interaction with a fan about a character in Stray Dogs made the writer go, oh, perhaps, you know, it was a fan favourite character that was chosen to, they developed. You've got the sketches, the creative process, the difficulties of dealing with certain subjects and themes, brilliant character design, page layouts, the meanings of characters, little details. There's an absolutely objectionable character who is like the world's greatest athlete, and it's just a little detail on him. He almost looks like tattoos. He's got like a number on his shoulders, and part of his shoulder is grey. It's not like a huge cybernetic thing, but it is like a little detail that in the future there are these enhancements that people have that almost they fit in with the skin, and it's just loads of little details. I mean, if you see this, I mean, I found out on Global Comics there's also more about the actual other little details that were just, there's this little astronaut figure that sort of, I didn't notice when I first read it, but keeps turning up in certain pages, and that astronaut figure is something that in this world has a whole backstory and is like a leader of a cult / techno business. And there's so much. I sort of finished it, and they shout off with a thanks to the community that led to this book being made. I finished it thinking, whoa, that's a book that's got a lot of work, has done a lot of world building. It is also recognises that it exists because people like the story, so it's thankful to the readers, and it's a real. It really surprised me how well thought out and put it was. So obviously, Neon Ghost was where I started. It's a perfect entry point, I think, for the Diary of the Stray Dogs universe from Wise Acre Comics, which is also has a little sort of marker on the thing, Beyond Publishing Caribbean. So
okay,
I'm looking forward to checking out more of this. But if you see Neon Ghost on your travels, or if you're on Global Comics, do check it out. It's well worth it.
They got a lot of their books on Global Comics. That studio.
I think they've got a few. Yeah. I think that's where I've seen this Covert Ops one that I'm delving into. I want to try and find the Diary of the Stray Dogs. I haven't seen that yet, but it's the Wounded Volume 1 seems to be the big sort of hotness, and a lot of the same collaborators on it. Nigel Lynch has obviously created this universe, and he's sticking with similar sort of people. But this is a universe that I definitely want to check out more of. So put it on your radars. I think you guys get a kick out of it as well.
Nice.
So that's my one. Dan, what have you got?
My book is something we got sent through Live in the Line. I took a quick look at the PDF and I was like, I'm going to buy this. I didn't continue reading the digital because it's by a creator that I've read books from before. EPHK is the author's name. Get that over Twitter. Do you think that's epic?
I was just about to say, is that epic?
Yeah,
it could be. Yeah, it could be.
It didn't really clock that till today.
It's almost like a graffiti. It's almost like a graffiti tag version of that, isn't it? Yeah. And
maybe you can see that in his artwork, but from the product description, you got 2064 Cape Town. Clouds roll down mountains down Table Mountains into the city bowl, letting the neon signs and burning lights take over for the evening. The seawall keeps the tides at bay. The ramparts keeps the townships out. But nothing keeps the bodies from dropping into the night. One cursing SAPS detective, Gunny Yun Fang, is on the case. But this murder's not like the others. It seems to expand everywhere, and even into Gunny's own past. Getting to the bottom of this one is going to cost her. It's a cyberpunk title. There's a few tropes in it you might have seen before, but fuck me, this dude's art style is absolutely ridiculous. If you go look him up on Instagram or you've seen his work before, you know exactly what to see. It goes very kind of sometimes panels are only 2 or 3 tones, and you have a pink background and a blue figure, and then you'll switch that to show depth of another character, the background being pink and the foreground figure being blue, and this color palette will change in the scene.
I love stuff like that
all the way through. And you're just like, wow, man, this fucking guy really knows. He's getting this depth, building this depth up. There's scenes where he's got like a car driving through a foreground, and the foreground's pink. The middle ground is a blue, and the sky is like a deep red. And it's like, man, that's a fucking really bold choice. But you've got kind of like the warm, cold, warm.
Yeah.
And oh god, this guy really knows his onions. I can feel like a manga inspiration behind some of the artwork, the kind of level of energy and the detailing of the backgrounds and the scenes. If you're gonna do a cyberpunk book like this, you've really got the background and the cityscapes are almost as much as an important character as is the characters in the story. Like you've got to have this fucking lived-in world where there's little stickers everywhere and machinery and logos and stuff like that. The story's really interesting as much that the detective Gunny in it, she's kind of after solving a murder case, but it slowly kind of like starts broadening out as she gets further and further into the case. She realizes more and more connections, and it like governments start getting involved. And I can't really go too much into it with spoilers because she has like a traumatic incident as a child, and as they try and dig into it, she's kind of very reticent to open up about it. She doesn't really know what happens, but throughout the story she has these blackouts which show themselves as like 2-page spread of her character falling into liquid, and as she blacks out, and then the story picks up again maybe minutes, hours, days later, where she's kind of regained consciousness, and it goes from there. I really recommend this book. I'm gonna have to reread it because I kind of got to the end and I was like, what? Like I didn't see. Sometimes you can see stuff coming, and that I was like
Living the
fucking
line
blindsided.
of some
Yeah,
fucking wacky stuff out there. That's why I
Yeah.
like him so much, man.
Yeah.
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 I'm really taking a chance and stuff. I wouldn't say taking a chance on this because this is fucking such an excellent book. Uh, I had it on order and I wasn't sure when it's going to come through, and then I got a message saying, "Oh, your order's on its way," and it turned up. If you go and check out the fucking Epic EPHK on Instagram, if you like that art style, the dude fucking knows his onions and on how to tell a story and make a comic because he writes and colors and draws this. This must have been an absolute fucking labor of love because this book is how many pages long? I think it's about 300 pages.
Right.
It's a fucking beast, massive.
Hmm.
Go check it out, man. Massive recommend. Really enjoyed it.
Amazing. Before I switch to Tony, just another super quick one. My second recommend from Mad Cave, Gunpowder Profits. Fucking just get on it. Just absolutely get on it. Justin George and Patrick Piazzalunga and a Murderer's Row of creators. Fucking absolutely just a grindhouse, a 70s grit with over-the-top violence, action, humour. It's brilliant. Love it. There's zombie bikers. There's satanic cults.
Brilliant.
There's a smooth-talking Robert Redford-looking motherfucker and a dude that looks like he's built like an ape, and he wields a chainsaw in issue 3. So that's all I've got to say. It's fucking amazing. Gunpowder Profits, wanted to give that a shout. Tony, what's your other one?
Yeah, my next one is Death Dog issue 2, published by Ahoy Comics. I read the first one of this. I think I shared it with you guys. I'm not sure if you read it, Vince, but I think you did, Dan. And we kind of thought it was a bit like a 2000 AD story in a funny sort of way. It's got that edge to it somehow. I could easily see this drawn by Ian Gibson, for example, who's obviously was a robot hunter kind of guy, and he drew robots in other things. So written by Bryce Ingman, art by Alan Robinson, colours by Paul Little, letters by Rob Steen. There's a couple of text pieces in there by Bryce as well. One with illustrations by Michael Monte. I've written that wrong. Pardon, apologies. And the other by Steve Connolly. So that's one of the reasons I picked this, because our buddy Steve Connolly's illustrated a story in this. The backstory to this from issue 1 and leading into issue 2 is that Wyatt is a 13-year-old kid, and he's in the near future. It's a bit of a sort of suburban, not particularly glamorous near future. You know, there's no sort of shiny fucking, jetpacks and stuff going on. His life isn't easy, and he's living in a shed. He has to work at the age of 13, and his mum has abandoned him for a rich guy. And but somehow this lethal law enforcement robo dog with sharp teeth and laser eyes has attached himself to him. Now he tries to disguise him at the start of issue 2 by covering him in a sheet with eyes cut out, which ain't really working. And he knows he has to he knows he has to go and see his mum for it's her birthday, and he knows she likes dolphins, so he's got a little dolphin keyring. So he tries to go there and he tries to leave the dog behind, but the dog keeps following him and eventually loses its sheet and jumps over this wall. And we realise right at the start of this comic, there's this sort of cop who's riding around on a hoverboard, like a tricycle hoverboard, with a load of dogs with him, chasing where this lost dog's gone. He's obviously been tasked as a sort of quite a nasty law enforcement officer to go and find this lost dog. And he goes to find these homeless couple, this woman and her daughter living in a tent. And he says, "Look, tell me where he is." And they're fucking frightened. So they tell him what they know, and he ends up burning their tent down nevertheless, sort of thing. So he's being chased, Wyatt. And he goes to this, he climbs the wall, the security wall, to get to his mum's new boyfriend's house. And she's like, "Why the fuck are you here? What is this shit you buy me?" So you begin to feel really sorry for Wyatt. I mean, this is like mega city kind of cruelty. You know, that cruel, constant, overbearing feeling of cruelty you feel in mega city. It's a bit like that. And poor old Wyatt, he's not got much, and it's not going to end well for him, you sense. But it's a nicely drawn story. It's just nice, character-driven. Everyone's a bit weird. Art is a bit strange, but very readable. And there's a little edge to it. And Wyatt is dumb as a brick, but you sense he's kind of a good kid and loyal. and I just enjoyed it. It's just one of those sort of fun reads. We got sent it through it. Thanks very much from Ahoy Comics. And I think it is. I think it's out this week. So if you go to comicsahoy.com, you'll be able to find the details. But it's just a fun little thing. Death Dog.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Issues 1 and 2.
Yeah. And it's all about enjoyment. And we enjoyed these comics, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Awesome Pod, the last one of 2025. Join us next week when we see if the world is still here and what we're going to do about it. But until then, you can, of course, let us know. Have you got anything coming up? Are there any comic book shops that you want us to check out? Any comic book events? Or perhaps you've got a book that you want us to check out? Or, whatever. Please do get in touch with us. There's several different ways you can do it. You can email us awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. Follow us on social media at awesomecomicspod on Instagram, at the awesomepod on X. Thank you for listening to us, whether it was on the website awesomecomics.podbean.com. If you listened on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify or whatever, please leave us a review. Say, if you like the show, please do let us know, because it helps get us out to more of an audience. Algorithms and stuff will go up the charts a little bit.
We've got a recent review, so thanks for that, guys.
Yes, thank you very much. We do really appreciate it. We are checking on it.
And to be honest, if you're in another country and you leave the review, we might not necessarily see it. So thanks to anyone who's left one in America or something.
But we really do appreciate it. Because the more people who check out the show, the more people will discover some of these indie comic books. And we know we're a tiny little show, so every little helps. I think that's the supermarket slogan, but I'll take it. You can also take us, hear us on Amazon, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife. What other networks are we on, Tony?
We're on the network. As everyone knows, I've got a Chihuahua dog because I'm a geezer, and he's recently taken to sitting in the bathroom and watching me while I do a shit. Which I think is just revenge, because that's what I do with him.
Yeah. Good for the goose. Good for the gander.
Little insight into my life there for you.
Yeah, that's lovely. And speaking of ganders, you should take a gander at acpgear.redbubble.com if you want to help support the show. Buy some shirts. I'm working on a couple of new sort of designs as we speak, actually.
So, there you go. You did some designs last year.
I suppose. I suppose it was that. Yeah.
Stop whipping yourself.
Oh, but I love it. I don't know why I did it in that voice. Oh dear, I'm like that albino from Da Vinci Code.
Oh, I was thinking of
I've seen that film.
Name of the Rose is what I was thinking of there.
Oh really? Well, look at you. Name of the Rose. Yeah. Wow. I'll name your Rose. Anyway, that's weird.
What happened there?
When it came out of my mouth, I was like, "What have you done?"
Oh no!
Oh dear! Let's get this shit back on the rails. Where can people find us online, etc.? Tony,
neveroverthink.com or Tony Ez on Substack, and you can look for the Awesome Comics podcast on Substack too.
Yes.
Stay peeled for Tuesday, Wednesday for your comics of the year.
What I call the tops and bottoms every week, which is I put the top of the pile that I read and the bottom of the pile that I read, along with some other fucking drivel from me. Nice. And this week it's just called tops. Because I'm just going to say that the top, whoever number and make it into.
Fuck the bottoms.
Yeah.
Not literally.
Pardon?
What? Sorry?
What was that, Dan?
I said,
is that where people can find you online?
I said fuck the bottoms.
.com.
But where can people find you, Dan?
Find me on X at Vanguard Comic, and you can read Vanguard at vanguardcomic.com.
He does the gesture, the CM Punk like gesture every time, and it just gives me life. You can find me on social media at Just the Diablo. Thank you very much for listening this year, and join us back next time in 2026 to see.
See you next year.
What a brilliant way. So without further ado, from all of us here in ACP Towers for the last time in 2025.
Well, we've got to say something here. We're about to do something, and as suggested by Simon on the Slack, everyone's going to raise a drink around the time that we say this certain thing that we always say at the end of it. So just to say, Happy New Year to everyone, and thanks for another great one coming up.
Well, that was oddly sentimental for you, Tony.
I'm a sentimental guy, secretly.
Really?
Everyone knows that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you love the
I'm
listeners?
the warm face of... No, do I fuck? I'm the warm face.
I love that. He does have a very warm face, listeners. Wherever you are in the world, have a brilliant new year. Keep making your comics. Keep reading brilliant comics. Let us know about them, and we'll see you next year. From everyone here in the tower. Well, what else can they do, guys?
Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.